Almighty God, we pray thee, bless our land and its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Let's affirm. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Session is called to order. Honorable members, in pursuit, I seek your indulgence, since it's the final day of the general debate, and I've got a lengthy announcement to make regarding the deployment of us as members to the different standing committees. Procedurally, even though I mentioned the other steps like questions and motions, that we can maybe skip that to accommodate the time that is there. I sincerely just seek your indulgence in that, because I've got an 8-page deliberation that I need to give regarding the feedback and deployment of members to the different standing committees. Now, the rule dictates that after the selection committee, the Speaker must make the announcement. Only thereafter is the appointment now regarded as duly legal. Before the announcement, it cannot. So on the basis of that, I seek your indulgence. Two, the Honorable Motu is not here. The question of Honorable Motu that is posed to the Prime Minister. Inasmuch as we agree, it says, the rules are saying the question must be addressed to the responsible minister. So we are going to legally get a direction, and then substantiality, the question stands, there is nothing. It's only whether it's the Prime Minister to answer or the responsible minister. And even if it is the line minister, I think the best approach should be every question to be addressed to the line minister. If the answer is not satisfactory, then we move to the next level. So there is a legal element in that. That's why I'm saying we are just pondering our thoughts and we'll provide feedback. But the question stands. It's only that whether is it directed, is it fair and proper and just to direct it to somebody else while there is a person in that particular appointment. That fair and done, allow me now, therefore, to report to the House on the appointments or deployment in terms of Rule 6 of the rules for establishing functioning and procedures of the parliamentary standing committees. I am pleased to inform you that the selection committee has considered the nominations for appointment to committees established by Rule 7 as per the functions of the selection committee. I would like to hereby report to the House in terms of Rule 6, Subclause 1, and make the announcement of the appointments to the following standing committees as confirmed. Committee 1, Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs and Petitions, Honorable Mondestu Samutse, Honorable Sirka Usiku, Honorable Werner Ita, Honorable Pohamba Shifeta, Honorable Salmon April, Honorable Hilma Ita, Honorable Alexia Ngube, Honorable Alfius G. Narusep, Honorable Ipumbu Shimi, Honorable Royal Tui Toto, Honorable Elda Felipe, Honorable Nono Kashingi Siwa, Honorable Feni Chuchavi, Honorable Elvis Lizazi, Honorable Isra Kanyemba, Honorable Michael Mulunga, Honorable Lilani Brinkman, Honorable Aloysius Kangulu, Honorable Job Amupanda, Honorable Tuheni K. Kakola, Honorable Ina Hengari, Honorable Bernardes Swartboy, Honorable Longinus Ipumbu, and Honorable Martin Lucato. Committee on International Relations, Defense and Security, Honorable James Weruga, Honorable Feni Chuchavi, Honorable Derek Klassen, Honorable Mondestu Samutse, Honorable Elda Felipe, Honorable John Likando, Honorable Pohamba Shifeta, Honorable Marius Shea, Honorable Marta Itope, Honorable Royal Tuikoko, Honorable T.N. Congo, Honorable Vehaka Erunga, Honorable Paula Kuoper, Honorable Rodney Klute, Honorable Aloysius Kangulu, Honorable Ezra Kanyemba, Honorable Nelson Kalangula, Honorable Roderick Likando, Honorable Job Amupanda, Honorable Esther Haikola Sakaria, Honorable McHenry Venani, Honorable Utara Motu, Honorable Nico Somaip, and Honorable Martin Lucato. Committee on Economy and Industry, Public Administration and Planning, Honorable Ipumbu Shimi, Honorable Hilma Ita, Honorable Velema Mutenya, Honorable Sharonese Bush, Honorable Marlene Bakera, Honorable Clemencia Klute, Honorable Justina Jonas, Honorable Feni Nanyeni, Honorable Sebastian Karupu, Honorable Toby Aupindi, Honorable Sirka Ausiku, Honorable Marta Itope, Honorable James Werikwa, Honorable Michael Mulunga, Honorable Ims Nashinge, Honorable Ferdinand Hengombe, Honorable Dilani Breckman, Honorable Elvis Lizasi, Honorable Vaino Angula, Honorable George Kambala, Honorable McHenry Venani, Honorable David Aigup, Honorable Nico Sumaib, and Honorable Matthias Mbundu. Committee on Natural Resources, Honorable Toby Aupindi, Honorable Tuliki Abrams, Honorable Feni Nayeni, Honorable Elda Filipe, Honorable John Likando, Honorable Poamba Shifeta, Honorable Ephraim Nekongo, Honorable Vehaka Herunga, Honorable Mendestu Samutse, Honorable Sebastian Karupu, Honorable Clemencia Klute, Honorable Clemencia Kutie, Honorable Marius Shea, Honorable Velem Amutenya, Honorable Ferdinand Hengombe, Honorable Armas Amukoto, Honorable Emmanuel Nashinge, Honorable Roderick Likando, Honorable Otilie Haitota, Honorable Tuafeni Kakola, Kalola. Thank you. Honorable George Kambala, Honorable Diedrek Fries, Honorable Aina Kodi, Honorable Linginus Ipumbu, and Honorable Veta Ruhe Kandorondu. Committee on Urban and Rural Development and Land Reform, Honorable Eliphas Dingara, Honorable Clemencia Kutie, Honorable Salmon April, Honorable Maris Shea, Honorable Marlene Bakera, Honorable Austin Samupa, Honorable Derek Klassen, Honorable Feni Nanyeni, Honorable Philip Elda Filipe, Honorable John Likando, Honorable Sirka Ausiku, Honorable Royal Tuikoko, Honorable Werner Ita, Honorable Vilo Ihemba, Honorable Otile Haitota, Honorable A. Hishono, Honorable Estra Kanyemba, Honorable Michael Mulunga, Honorable Job Amupanda, Honorable George Kambala, Honorable Rosa Minge Shuendo, Honorable Enias Mbula, Honorable Nico Somaip, Honorable Festus Thomas. Committee on Education, Youth, Civic Relations and Community Development, Honorable Marlene Bakera, Honorable Austin Samupa, Honorable Alexia Nube, Honorable Tuliki Abram, Honorable Velem Amutenya, Honorable Sharonese Bush, Honorable Feni Chuchavi, Honorable Derek Klassen, Honorable Mondestus Ashipara, Honorable James Werikwa, Honorable Vaheka Herunga, Honorable Nono Kashingisiwa, Honorable Sophia Shaningwa, Honorable Berta Gifikwa, Honorable Abnego Hishono, Honorable John Low Mouton, Honorable Lilian Lutahesi, Honorable Vilo Iemba, Honorable Tuafeni Kalola, Kalola. Tuafeni Kalola, Honorable George Kambala, Honorable Rosa Mbinge Shwendo, Honorable Utara Motu, Honorable Nico Somai, and Honorable Ambrosius Kumbwa. Committee on Poverty Eradication, Labor and Industrial Relations. Honorable Justina Jonas, Honorable Salmon April, Honorable Alexia Ngube, Honorable Clemencia Kutie, Honorable Sirka Usiku, Honorable Royal Tuikoko, Honorable Ephraim Nekongo, Honorable Hilma Ita, Honorable Alfius G. Marusep, Honorable Poamba Shifeta, Honorable Veaka Erunga, Honorable Elifas Dingara, Honorable Mondestus Ashipara, Honorable Roderick Ligando, Honorable Otile Haitota, Honorable Boniface Sisiku, Honorable Lilian Lutaezi, Honorable Lucia Mbuti, Honorable Friedrich Tie Shitana, Honorable Vaino Hangula, Honorable Willy Mongo, Honorable Enas Imvula, Honorable Hendrik Gaubay, and Honorable Ambrosius Kumba. Committee on Gender, Equality, Health and Social Service. Honorable Nono Kashingisiwa, Honorable Feni Nyanyeni, Honorable Sharonis Bush, Honorable Feni Chuchavi, Honorable Justina Jonas, Honorable Tuliki Abrams, Honorable Ephraim Nekongo, Honorable Hilaria Mukapuli, Honorable Paula Kuoper, Honorable Alfius Marusep, Honorable Pohamba Shifeta, Honorable Alexia Ngube, Honorable Sofia Shaningwa, Honorable Lilian Lutaezi, Honorable Lucia Mbiti, Honorable Lilian Breckman Mbuti, Honorable Lilian Brenkman, Honorable Boniface Sisiku, Honorable Armas Amukoto, Honorable Esther Aikola, Honorable Friedrich Shitana, Honorable Winnie Mongo, Honorable Aina Kodi, Honorable Linginus Ipumbu, and Honorable Betarue Kandorondu. Committee on Information Communication Technology. Honorable Sebastian Karupu, Honorable Marta Itope, Honorable Elifas Dingara, Honorable Mondestu Samute, Honorable Velema Mutenya, Honorable Ipumbu Shimi, Honorable Paula Kuoper, Honorable Hilaria Mukapuli, Honorable Feni Nanyeni, Honorable Tuliki Abram, Honorable Toby Aupindi, Honorable Hilma Ita, Honorable Salmon April, Honorable John Low Muton, Honorable Boniface Sisiku, Honorable Michael Moshindange, Mandindange, okay, Moshindange, Dangi, Honorable Emmanuel Nashinge, Honorable Elvis Lizasi, Honorable Vaina Hangula, Honorable Friedrich Tie Shitana, Honorable Winnie Mongo, Honorable David Aiku, Honorable Matthias Bundu, Honorable Evalistus Karonda. Committee on Public Accounts, Honorable Evalistus Karonda, Honorable Hendrik Gaubay, Honorable Bernardes Swarpoy, Honorable Ina Hengari, Honorable Vaino Hangula, Honorable Jopa Mupanda, Honorable John Low Muton, Honorable Bertrand Ifikwa, Honorable Rodney Klute, Honorable Nelson Kalangula, Honorable Michael Moshihandinge, Honorable James Weruka, Honorable Marlene Bakera, Honorable Derek Klassen, Honorable Nono Kashingisiwa, Honorable Hilaria Mukapuli, Honorable Ipumbu Shimi, Honorable Mondestu Samutse, Honorable Werner Ita, Honorable Marta Itope, Honorable Toby Upindi, Honorable Sebastian Karupu, Honorable Mondestus Ashipara, and Honorable Pohamba Shifeta. Committee on Budget and Finance, Honorable Hilaria Mukapuli, Honorable Marius Shea, Honorable Austin Shamupa, Honorable Werner Ita, Honorable Elifas Dingara, Honorable Michael Moshindange, Honorable Moshindange, Honorable Nelson Kalangula, Honorable Esther Haikola Zakaria, and finally Honorable Diedrich Fries. Take note further, honorable members, the committees are allowed to commence with business Please note that before commencement, Rule 13 and 14 of the committee rules provide at the first engagement for the election of chairpersons and deputy chairpersons from one of the members, provided that the chairperson of the committee on public accounts must be a member not belonging to the ruling party. You are kindly advised and directed to acquaint yourself with the rules of procedure of Parliamentary Standing Committee and orders and international arrangement of the National Assembly. May I also take this opportunity to congratulate all the members on their different appointments and deployment, and encourage you all to carry out your functions and duties in the spirit of our country with the service of effectiveness, efficiency, and due diligence. I so wish and congratulate you. Maybe also as guidance, I think as guidance we have also to share with the members that we have scheduled Tuesday, I don't know what is the date, 22, not to have a session so that the committees can convince the whole day. The different committees, the allocation of time slots will be communicated via the normal channels so that the members knows that which different times. But for Tuesday, there will be no sitting, but that every 2 hours is used for the whole Tuesday up until Wednesday morning, so that the appointment and the full functioning establishment of committees can then now take place and the chairpersons be announced on the Wednesday session. Thank you. That said and done brings us now, as I have agreed, I just seek the indulgence. I will read them, but I don't expect anything. Any petitions, any reports of standing committees, other reports, notice of questions, notice of motions, message from head of state, mineral. Yeah, it's because ministerial statements. No, we have agreed, my brothers. Order paper. The secretary will read the order of the day.
Resumption of debate.
Just wait.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. How do we deal with the maiden speeches that are still outstanding?
No, I'm sure we stand to be guided. The rules are ours. What we thought is, once we conclude, we go into committee stage. It can still be accommodated, my view, under committee stage. Because even, just to be fair, to make a statement to say I'm this and this as an introduction, and then you contribute accordingly. I think it can still be accommodated during committee stage. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your understanding. The Secretary will read the first order of the day.
Resumption of debate on second reading appropriation bill.
Wait. Okay, we'll give the name. The Secretary has read the first order of the day. When the Assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 16th of April 2025, the question before the House, before the Assembly, was a motion by the Honourable Minister of Finance that the bill be read the second time. I now give the floor to Honourable. Oh, I've got 60. Who's 60? Here it shows 60. I'm just trying to get. Huh? Oh, it's Honorable Imis Nashinge. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Caroline.
Honorable Speaker,
15.
honorable members of the 8th Parliament in the Republic of Namibia, I'm Emmanuel Ims Shawanamiti Tiana Shinge. I was born in Onanjaba, a village in Okalongo constituency of Umsati region, a place where government policies often arrive last and leave first. Today I stand before you as members of Parliament from the Commerce region as the leader of the official opposition in the National Assembly. But in truth,
67.
I am just a son of this land, a proud one, sent here by over 220,000 voices who voted for the IPC because they are tired of being ignored who this seat belongs to. I'm not here to impress. I'm here because my job, as I see it, is to bring the realities of the people into this house. That is what I'll be doing. Let me begin with the position I now hold, leader of the official opposition. There's been a lot of talk about this role. Some have asked if it's legal, others if it is powerful, and a few were wondering whether I will end up clashing with my president, Dr. Panduleni Tula, aka Kanjapa. Here is my answer. Here is my answer. The only clash IPC believes in is with poverty, corruption, and mediocrity. We are not in this house to follow the old template of personal power struggles. We follow our own path. We speak plainly. We count clearly, and we are building a party that will serve the people, not personalities. This is why we will be introducing the Office of the Official Opposition Bill later in the year to take this role from symbolism to substance and formal recognition in law, because without structure, even good intention collapse. We have an obligation and a responsibility to fix our democracy and to prepare this country for the next 50 years. When we are gone deep 6 meter or 4 meter, depending where you are from, because land has become even more expensive for a grave, we should then be able to be proud of what we have left for the next generation. If the ruling party thinks this office is only useful when they are in power, I say, build it now. Because the day will come when you sit where we sit. Inevitable, nothing lasts forever. And when the day comes, you will thank us for doing the difficult work of formalizing accountability.
Honorable
accountability.
in speech, please. Yes.
That many of accountability that many of you are allergic to. Now, let us turn to the Minister of Home Affairs. Immigration, Safety and Security, a powerful name indeed. A long name, but the truth is, it does not feel powerful when a woman in Kunene region waits 3 months for her child birth certificate. Or when a police officer in Oshikoto or Mbwaria Totina earns so little that he sleeps in a shack and walks to work with a borrowed uniform. The ministry has 5 core pillars: policing and uniform services, immigration and borders, cyber security, civil registration, correctional services. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
No.
Deputy Speaker.
No, honorable members. No, honorable, just take your seat, please. Honorable members, the speaker normally is just to guide the proceedings. Don't make the speaker a participant in your discussions. You have made us to sit and preside. The member is having the floor. Let us listen courteously. It's a maiden speech. Please, honorable members. And honorable members, please, the other things that you are doing, just know that the next time it could be done to you. And we are here. You see, let's have meaning to the words we are saying. Let's have meaning to those little words. And let's raise and know that greatness comes from the simplicity of your behavior. Please, I'm not there to guide you. I think you are honorable member. No, everybody, don't go in there. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. So everybody, members, people are looking at us outside. And this is the reflection, regardless of what you are delivering. At the end of the day, the impression the people are giving comes from us, collectively. Honorable
Speaker, thank you very much for doing your job so perfectly. Let us be honest, all five are in distress. Those core pillars of the Ministry of Home Affairs that I've mentioned. Let us be honest, all five are in distress. I re-emphasize. We ask our police officers to guard the streets, chase robbers, and protect our borders, and protect political elites. But we give them grade 12 salaries, 10-year-old boots, and broken radios, broken cars, unbranded cars. They should at least show these are police cars and so forth. No housing, no transport, no mental health support. No mental health support. We are all human, and we face difficult challenges during our work, but we need that support so that we are able to be productive members of society in our different and various roles. Some of them have resigned in large numbers, and who blames them? I would also resign if my salary couldn't pay for a one-bedroom flat in the city I'm supposed to be protecting. We cannot keep telling our security officers, oh, you are the backbone of national security, and then break their backs with poor pay and worse working conditions. On immigration and border control, I have read the reports, I have seen the footage. Border posts without scanners, fences vandalized, one officer manning an entire post, and I'm told by villagers that you can cross from Angola to Namibia without ever seeing an officer. Just follow the path through the bush. Where I come from, Okalongo, of course, they are our cousins and brothers on the other side, but there is a need to have a proper system that is working to protect the integrity, the territorial integrity of our motherland. This is a national emergency, the way things are. We are now in the oil era. Some are excited because they are positioning themselves, but in this oil era, let us be clear on that oil brings opportunities, yes, but also organized crime, economic sabotage, and transnational mafias. If our border remains this porous, we are not protecting the oil, we are opening vault. Cybercrime. This one is quiet but dangerous. We have no real crime, we have no real cybercrime unit. The officers assigned to it have no IT training at all. Fraudsters are targeting our pensioners and our businesses on a daily basis. Yet, nothing seems to be put in place to address this challenge as fast as possible. And still, the cybercrime budget line is invisible. We want biometric passports, but we don't invest in cybersecurity. How can we get that right? That is like building a new house and leaving the front door wide open. I call for a digital forensic lab, a cybercrime hotline within the ministry where I'm a shadow minister. I don't know why some of our lovely members are allergic to shadow, the word shadow, because you all have shadows. If you don't have a shadow,
Honorable Eames, please.
Yeah. I call for a digital forensic lab. Come on, guys, are we not happy?
No, please, Eames.
Cybercrime hotline, and at least 20 properly trained cybercrime investigators by the next year. If Botswana and Rwanda can do it in this continent, Namibia can too. Civil registration. I want to salute the team at Home Affairs for the recent improvements, especially the mobile registration drives and the push for ED cards. But more should be done. But still also, about 126,000 Namibians have uncollected IDs. In some regions, birth certificates are delayed by months. In other, people don't even know they must register as citizens of this country. Let's fix this as soon as possible. Let's decentralize ID printing to every region, and let us launch a proper notification system that actually works. And let us treat documents as a right and not a privilege. No Namibian should miss out on a job, grant, or a vote because the system failed them. We're still buying overpriced maize from middlemen when we can grow our own. No, sorry. Let me go back. Correctional services. Let me also touch on the correctional services. You may not think of prison farms as a priority, but I do, because the correctional service farms at Divundu, somewhere in Tsumeb and the south now, and Katima have saved this country 18 million Namibian dollars in food costs. These are not just farms, they are opportunities for all of us. Why can't prison maize be used for school feeding, for example, or hospital feeding? Why can't ex-offenders continue farming under supervision after release? Why are we still buying overpriced maize from middlemen when we can grow our own? Let us scale up prison agriculture, turn it into a food security program, feed our children, and create jobs while we are at it. Let me now say this to the Minister of Home Affairs. You have been allocated 7.9 billion this year, in this financial year. That is not a small change, but a budget is only as good as its use. We see no dedication to cybercrime funding, no serious investment in border infrastructure, no housing program, especially for the police officers. So we ask, what are we paying for? We propose the following: a special tax allowance for junior officers, a fund for border security tech and transport, cybercrime division by 2026, a public dashboard showing document turnaround times, and quarterly updates to Parliament on all this. Colleagues, honorable and fellow Namibians, this is not a partisan speech. These are not IPC reforms. These are Namibian reforms. And if the government adopts them, I'll be the first to clap hands. That is the commitment. Because in the end, what matters is not who gets the credit, but whether the mother in Okakarara in Kachinakachi gets her baby's birth certificate, whether the officer in Katutura gets a place to stay, whether the farmer in Zambezi feels safe. Honorable members, many of us come from villages with no running water and sometimes no hope. Regions that I'm familiar with, for example, Omsati, my own, people are still drinking salty water. Oshikoto, horrible. They only have the road from Oshivelo to Ondangwa. The rest is a struggle. Even a donkey cart struggles to get to the main road, to take one to the hospital, to take a mother to go and deliver a healthy baby that should contribute to the economy of this motherland. But my presence here, our presence here, all of us, is a proof that beside all those challenges, that hope is never wasted. IPC.
Thank you.
Unlimited.
Yeah. It's maiden speech. It's not unlimited. It's during.
No, but I'm sure the message.
No, Honorable Kakola. Kalola. Captain Kalola.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, I'm Kalola, not Kakola.
Kalola, Honorable.
Yeah, Mr. Honorable.
Yeah.
Taste, yeah. Okay, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable members. 50.
Yeah.
I, Tuafeni Kalola, rise today humbled and honored to stand before this esteemed house as a representative of the Namibian people. My presence here is not of my own doing, but a reflection of the trust and aspirations of those who placed their faith in the affirmative repositioning in I to be their voice, particularly those that did not elect hyenas to take care of their goats. I thank you profoundly. I thank all my teachers, lecturers, and friends. On the other hand, I am also here to free the regime from itself and attest to black mental consciousness. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I take this moment to pay tribute to the generations of leaders before us, those who fought for independence, those who shaped our democracy, and those who sacrificed for the freedom we often take for granted. We stand on their shoulders, and it is our duty to ensure that their struggles were not in vain. We indeed appreciate the political freedom they gave us. Thus, we are present today to ensure that the incomplete project of economic freedom becomes a reality in our lifetime. Dear Chinua Achebe, things are no longer at ease. They have indeed fallen apart in Namibia. And this made us to be present in this noble house. Honorable Speaker, Deputy, honorable members, as a lawmaker, I commit myself to the principles of justice, fairness, accountability, and unwavering dedication to the prosperity of every Namibian. My fight for injustice did not just start yesterday. It came a long way, ever since when I was a juvenile in my primary grades. I know how it feels to be a pure village boy from a less privileged family. I am a fighter, and I've always been. My activism began at my years at university, where it was more fueled through student politics at University of Namibia, where I served as a UNAM SRC President 2017-2018. I should state that I'm pleased to sit today with Honorable Ina Koviao Ngari, as well as Honorable Emma Inamtilati Fellas, who I served with in the UNAM Student Council. I can still remember running from Governor Park to Chinatown with Koviao and many students, where Prof. Joban Panda came to rescue us from the rubber bullets as well as tear gas from the Namibian police, as we had a peaceful demonstration demanding our funds from the government institution responsible for funding students. It was indeed a movie that day, and history consumed it. All in all, justice was served after some months, and I'm proud of all the fighters. I will always recall Honorable Wise Emmanuel in his comical and ionic voice saying, "Young leader." Yes, we are indeed young leaders, and we are here to serve, including the elders. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, disability is not an inability. I can still recall disability unit at UNAM, where I served as a volunteer, helping visually impaired students in and out of the campus. Sondre, Men of Surprise, and Brian Butinazo can attest to this. Humility should remain part of us as leaders. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as a former teacher, I rise today with a deep sense of urgency and responsibility to speak on behalf of many teachers in our nation whose voices often go unheard, yet whose impact is felt in every corner of our society. Education remains the single most powerful tool for socio-economic transformation. However, in its current state, our education system is not producing the skilled workforce that Namibia needs. It is high time the government seriously considers and recognizes teachers in terms of fair and competitive remuneration. The teaching profession is the foundation of all the professions. Without teachers, there will be no doctors, engineers, no parliamentarians, just to mention a few. Astonishingly, what these educators get does not reflect the vital role they play in society. The Education Act should equally be reviewed to safeguard and protect teachers. As it stands, teachers are at risk of losing their jobs in enforcing discipline among learners. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, we must also address the structural gap in the education sector. There is a need to introduce grade 7 to bridge the divide between classroom teachers and heads of departments. There is no motivation of studying further in education because you can hold a PhD degree and yet remain as an ordinary teacher. Furthermore, let us not forget the elephant in the room, overcrowded classrooms, the teacher-learner ratio in many of our public schools. This is putting pressure on teachers and at the same time robbing Namibian learners of quality education. Honorable members, what about introducing assistant teachers? This will equally help our unemployed graduates that are roaming around the streets. Moreover, the quality of education in public schools is worsening. Learners complete grade 12 with barely functional literacy, making them ill-prepared for either tertiary education or the job market. What future are we building if we continue to produce generations of ineffectively trained youth? Honorable Deputy Speaker, dear Namibians, the Ministry of Education should bring back junior secondary certificate in grade 9 to be marked nationally, because grade 9 is also an exiting grade to VTCs and other semi-skilled markets. In addition, qualification to AS should be based on points, not 3 Cs, because this has many implications and it is unfair and discriminatory. Reforming our curriculum will make it relevant to the modern world. We need to equip our learners with practical skills in agriculture, entrepreneurship, information technology, and vocational training from any early age. Let us equally decolonize their minds by rewriting our own Namibian history. You can't be having history as a subject in a new curriculum. Honorable Deputy Speaker, culture is a place where pity is called compassion. Flattery is called love. Propaganda is called knowledge. Tension is called peace. Gossip is called news. And autotune is called singing. Even though the Ministry of Education includes arts and culture, they are overlooked. Cultural officers across our country are not motivated to make sure that our culture in schools scores its mandate. This affects the quality rendering of service to schools, especially with the successful implementation of school culture groups for development, SCCD. This national policy was passed by Cabinet in 2015 for implementation in 2016, but due to lack of support from the Ministry and the Directorate, all ended in vain. Honorable Deputy Speaker, dear Namibians, a certain Ganga stated that you cannot fight an evil disease with sweet medicine. Not all diseases may require a panado. Some may require natural plain leaves. Let us revive our culture and traditions and recognize our traditional healers. Misfortune comes out of ignorance. Let us decolonize our minds and ourselves. I therefore call upon the Ministry of Education to implement a radical plan to ensure every Namibian child, regardless of their background, receives a quality education that empowers them to contribute meaningfully to society, and this includes their indigenous languages. Honorable members, we cannot speak of economic growth and development without addressing Namibia's road infrastructure. I thought the road from Onuno to Enana in the Angwena region was well, until I got flabbergasted by the potholes of the smart city, as they say. Honorable members, we have a duty to serve, not to rule. We must legislate with integrity and put the people of Namibia first. I'm therefore standing here firmly and fearlessly disapproving the budget that was tabled in this August House, as it only speaks for few, but not for all the Namibian people, particularly the youth. The budget that single-lined agriculture as a crucial sector of the economy by only allocating 2 billion. We must listen to the cries of the unemployed youth, the struggling farmer, the overworked teacher at Nangonda Combined School in Ongaseket, the nurse working under poor conditions in Marienda Clinic, and the entrepreneur fighting against an unyielding system. We need a parliament that is fearless in demanding accountability from the executive. We need laws that shield our citizens, not oppress them. We are not going to allow money being allocated corruptly to promote comradeship and abandon the needs of the Namibian people. George Orwell stated in his fable titled Animal Farm that all animals are equal, but there are some animals that are more equal than others. They are activists. They are Namibians. All the animals must be equal in our lifetime. In a nutshell, to my fellow Namibians and my family in Ongenga and Nganjala Shkongeni, I say this. I am your dealer in hope. The future of our country is still in our hands. To my father, Johannes Kalola, Eweka, and my entire family, including my flesh, Godwin, Golden, and Grace. And my big brother, Nathaniel Nituamata Kalola, I will always cherish you. Last but not certainly least, to my late mom, Tulipawa Haikuti, your spirit lives with me, and I'm still your champion. I thank you.
Next is Honorable Karupu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, fellow Namibians, for the floor. No, I don't. You and I don't to make me the speak.
Exactly.
I rise with humility in this chair of my leader, the Honorable Deputy Speaker. I was advised to come here temporarily while he's busy arranging the seating arrangements to pave way to one of the leader of a political party, which I hope will join his space. Here I can see. Then I'll go back to my seat. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the honorable members that spoke before me have touched more on what needs to be done and what our country is facing economically. So I wanted to briefly touch on the economic headwinds. If need be, I'll touch also globally, because Namibia is part of the globe. I wanted to say that for the economy to accelerate, we have to look at factors that contributes to the economic growth of a country. And there are 4 factors referred to as factors of production. They are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. These are very important 4 factors of productions. Once the country gets it right, then the economy will accelerate. Starting with the first factor, land.
Maiden speech.
Land, it is very much disheartening to learn that our country, about 85% of agricultural land are still in the hands of the few who are mostly the descendants of the colonizers.
Yes. Yes.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, fellow Namibians, there's no development that can take place without land. Agricultural production that we are, all of us, are embracing here in this house, we wanted to see takes place on land. Mineral and natural resources are found on land. Therefore, I want to agree with my uncle there, the Honorable Martin Lucato, that it is time for us to implement the resolutions of the second land conference we had. It's very much important as a nation. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, fellow Namibians, coming to labor, which also referred to as human capital. Any countries that developed is built by a skilled human capital, skilled labor. I want to agree with those who spoke before me that we still need to do more in terms of investing in human capital development. We need our own expertise. We need our own agriculturalists. Human capital is very much important for the development of any country. Capital. When we talk about capital, we are not only talking about money. We are also talking about infrastructure, buildings, machineries, and other tools that enable us to produce more or to increase our production. That's what is referred to capital. And the last factor of production is entrepreneur. We need entrepreneurs with innovative ideas. Entrepreneurs which will invent new things, including technological tools. Technological tools. Because now it is very much important. The world is now going, yes, involving technology. AI is very much important in any business. Not AR, AI, artificial intelligence. It's very much important. The young people now are embracing technology. It is very much important. So our ancestors, they were farming with hoes. In my language, we used to call it muhuruto. With the hoes, matem. Now, people are plowing with, it's no more with plows only, with tractors. So when we calculate with hoes, it will not calculate a large amount of land in a shorter period of time. But when you calculate with tractors, Professor, tractors, if you are a farmer, you will do wonder in one day.
Yes.
As a result, you will be increasing your production. We have more foods for local consumption and also for export. That is very much important. It's our duty as the 8th Parliament. Honorable members, the 8th Parliament is...
Look at your time. Look at your time.
Yes, you are saying it's special. To me, I can say is a paradigm shift in Namibia's political space. Why I'm saying that? Why I'm saying that? The first, our forebears, the first parliamentarians of the first parliament, they comprises of members that were born in 1920s up to the youngest 1950s. But now, 98% of these parliamentarians from mid-60s to 2000.
Millenniums.
So you understand the contemporary world and the challenge it brings. People do not have only the Namibian people great regard in you, but also bigger anticipation or their expectation. You have to change. You have to make law that will accelerate economic growth. It's no more partisan discussions.
Time.
Oh, it's the time. Okay. Now, I wanted to conclude by saying that.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Don't.
Can I finish?
Yes, please.
I finish. I conclude. My conclusion, I wanted to say that the economic headwind did not affect only Namibia, but affected the globe. USA is topping in the countries with foreign banks. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the floor.
Next is, thank you. Next is Honorable Lucia Mbuti. Thank you.
Honorable
Thank you. Maiden speech, please.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Members of Parliament, and the Namibian nation out there. I stand before you today humbled and deeply honored as a representative of the Namibian people, who entrusted me with their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. My name is Lucia Yatuli Kwambuti, born in Omaruru, Erongo region, and raised in Osho Horongo, Okoshimutisho Hondeo, Laures constituency. I came from the lineage that values community, hard work, and resilience. My journey began in the classroom of Osho Horongo Primary School, where I laid a foundation for my education. From there, I moved to Opuo, Okunene region, for my junior grades, and later advanced to Augustinian High School, where I completed my final years of education. It was in these formative years that I first discovered a transformative power of education, the driving force that shapes not only individuals' futures, but the destiny of the entire nation. I learned that perseverance is the key to overcome challenges, and that determination can turn adversity into opportunities. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, for 12 years, I volunteered to serve my community wholeheartedly as a secretary to the senior councillor at the Verawa Traditional Authority. I then also dedicated 15 years of service to the Osho Horongo Primary School as a school board member, ensuring that education remained a pillar of strength for the young minds in our society. My political journey took shape when I joined the Independent Patriots for Change on the 10th of September 2020. The leadership of the great IPC entrusted me with the role of an acting chairperson, and just 2 months later, I was nominated as a candidate for the regional local authority elections in Daures constituency, just as a grassroots participant. I engaged with communities, listened to their struggles, and vowed to be the voice for the voiceless. As the Shadow Deputy Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, I would like to address the most critical issues affecting our society, men, women, and children. Domestic violence has become worse, and more shelters, counseling services, educational campaigns must be increased in Namibia. Men suffered in silence, are facing unfair accusations, and forced to support kids that is not theirs. And this leading to more anger and increased violence in homes. This ministry must ensure that victims have access to support and protection, for men to feel comfortable reporting abuse without fear or stigma. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, orphan grants. 350 Namibian dollars per month is not sufficient to meet their basic needs. Neither does it cover a full set of school uniform or buy stationaries. It must be increased to ensure that those children have better chance of survival. I do propose immediate review of this budget. In conclusion, honorable members, I I thank my president, Dr. Panduleni F. Bango Itula, and the entire IPC leadership for their encouragement, shaping me, guiding me in this political journey. To the ground mobilization commanders out there, it's because of your hard work, dedication that make all this possible. This is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey. To my brother, Ushiveri Shamama, Moses Friedrich Shivetambuti, and his wife, and the entire Buti family, thank you for pushing me forward. My spiritual father, Archbishop Nicholas Kanga Kaura, and the whole congregation of Stand, Oruthu Healing Mission Church, thank you for your prayers. Namibia is all we have. Namibia is not for sale. We must and we can save it. God bless Namibia.
Next will be Honorable Alexia Nube, and she will take us to tea break. Please.
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Hello, please, members. She is saving the floor.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, I wish to express, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I wish to express my sincere gratitude to former President, the second President of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Hifikepunye Pohamba, who introduced me to a mainstream politics by nominating me as a Member of Parliament. His decision reflected a strong commitment to inclusivity and equal opportunities for all. It was a significant step forward in promoting representation within decision-making processes of governance. I remain honored by the trust he placed in me. Thank you, Tate. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, allow me to extend my hearty congratulations to our fifth president, a diplomat, a woman of substance, first female president, a woman who led the front when it was not fashionable to do so, and mother of the nation, Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Daitwa. I wish to congratulate also Her Excellency Madame Lucia Witbooi, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, and equally Dr. Sarah Kukongalwa Amadila. Please accept my congratulations for your election as the first female Speaker of the National Assembly and your Deputy Speaker, Honorable P.W. Katamelo. My best wishes for success as you carry out this mammoth task. My warmest congratulations goes to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Elia Ngurare, his Deputy Honorable Natangwe Ifete, and the entire Cabinet Ministers and esteemed members of the 8th Parliament. Honorable members, as you take on the responsibility of guiding our nation of Namibia into a new era, I wish you strength, wisdom, and success in your leadership as you steer Namibia towards lasting peace, unity, and prosperity. And I will be forever indebted if I do not thank the Swapo Party rank and files for believing in my capacity by yet giving me another chance to continue advocating for social inclusion and equal opportunities for all. My sincere appreciation to each one of you for believing in my capacity. I understand the role and I am committed to working diligently. It is truly humbling to have your support. Allow me to sincerely thank the Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Erika Shafuda, for her tireless efforts in drafting the 2025-2026 national budget within a limited time frame. Your dedication, theme under Beyond 35 for a Prosperous Future, is truly commendable. I salute your leadership and commitment. Well done, Honourable Minister. Honourable Speaker, honourable members, it is with deep sense of responsibility to address a matter of national importance, and that is the inclusion, empowerment and recognition of persons with disabilities in our Republic. I would like to talk about this issue because it's an issue that is always overlooked and an afterthought and seen as an easy task. However, we forget its complexity and its developmental nature. As we engage in budget discussions, I believe it is worth reflecting on how far we have come in ensuring that all Namibians, regardless of physical or mental ability, are adequately and equitably represented in our national plans. It is an opportune time to ask ourselves whether we are truly budgeting for all and whether our development agenda is anchored in the values of inclusivity, equity, and justice. The late President, Dr. Hakaji Geingob, reminded us that inclusivity spells harmony and exclusivity spells conflict. In that spirit, we are reminded that an inclusive Namibia is a stronger Namibia, a nation that thrives when no one is left behind. Namibia is a proud signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which in Article 9 calls upon state parties to ensure that people with disabilities enjoy equal access to physical environment, transportation, information, and communication technologies. These are rights, not privileges, and they call for deliberate planning, sufficient budgeting, and sustained action. Honourable members, Honourable Deputy Speaker, there is an opportunity to strengthen support for people with disabilities across various sectors. For instance, the Ministry of Health and Social Services plays a critical role in providing assistive technologies such as wheelchairs, hearing aids, screen readers, and braille devices. These are essential health products that are as important as any medication. With increasing demand and significance of such technologies, it may be helpful to elevate their priority within our health budgeting and procurement plans, ensuring timely and equitable access for all. In education, the sector policy on inclusive education and the Education Act of 2001 provide a strong foundation. However, to fully realize inclusive learning environments, further investment may need infrastructure, learning materials, and training of educators in specialized teaching methods such as sign language and braille. Instances where learners are unable to attend school due to accessibility challenges, such as there is a room for positive change. Similarly, in the realm of transport and infrastructure, a stronger focus on a universal design could pave the way for a more inclusive society, whether it's public buses, taxis, or walkways, accessibility for all, including wheelchair users and those with visual or hearing impairments, could be integrated into transport planning, budgeting, and service provision. Perhaps establishing a dedicated accessibility fund under the Ministry of Transport could be one way to support such efforts. In agriculture, where many people with disabilities in rural areas rely on subsistence farming, programs could be designed to be more inclusive by considering mobility limitation and providing adapted tools, transportation support, and accessible training sessions. These interventions would not only promote food security but also ensure economic participation for all. Economic empowerment also includes access to national resources such as Namibia marine wealth. There is an opportunity here to explore how fish quota allocation can become more inclusive, perhaps by ensuring that persons with disabilities, cooperatives, and associations representing them are also beneficiaries. Such participation would align well with our goals for equitable economic development. The Minister of Gender and Child Welfare continues to play a vital coordinator role in addressing the needs of vulnerable populations. However, to strengthen its impact is an urgent need to promote gender equality among layers of discrimination, both as persons with disabilities and based on their gender. This requires a clear financial commitment in the national budget to provide seed funding, training, and accessible infrastructure to support disability-focused entrepreneurship and employment opportunities. Budgetary provisions must be made to expand and resource social workers' services, community outreach, and inclusive reporting mechanism. Furthermore, gender-based violence against persons with disabilities remain a serious and often hidden issue. Namibia's journey to independence came through a barrel of a gun, so many who are maimed freedom fighters should be also recognized in this regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Member. That brings us to break. There was a glitch here in the system. I've got, when we start, we'll break now up until 10:40. I've got Honourable April, Honourable April, Honourable Mvula, and Honourable Share. Yeah, yours is there. You are there. Don't worry. I mean, even you are intimidating. I can't oversee you.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I first like to
15 minutes.
dedicate this day of my maiden speech to my late grandfather, that's Simon Legumborievura from Molutsidi. I dedicate the same day to my late grandmother, Sylvia Wakaroranjene Yakarora, originating from Etunda village in Onganjera. As well as to my parents, both parents, that the Seve Simon and Meme Cecilia Kangwaya Kairmunde Yamnyera. My name is Honorable, or let's say my name is Enias Shivoro Chanante Nechevura. I was born here, Nissan last Strat in Pioneers Park during the colonial times. And then obviously bred Mikangwayana Mandi in Onganjera of the Tamanzi constituency. Honorable Speaker or Deputy Speaker, honorable members, I stand here today not as an individual, but as an embodiment of the people's historical struggle, forged in the fires of the 1982 and sharpened through the betrayals of post-independent Namibia. I'm the voice of those long denied land, justice, and dignity. My presence in this 8th Parliament is not a personal victory, but a collective assertion of the unshakable will of the working poor, the landless, the dispossessed from the fertile banks, of the Zambezi to the arid heartlands of Omaheke, who have grown weary of cosmetic change. I salute the unwavering and militant leadership of Honorable Bernardes Swartboy, a revolutionary whose relentless commitment to justice continues to anchor a people's movement, built on privilege but on pain and purpose. To my family and comrades and the masses who have entrusted me with this duty, this mandate is not mine, it is your mandate. We are here to dismantle the architecture of elitism, to disrupt the comfort of the ruling classes, and to forge a new Namibia where power is reclaimed by the people, not hoarded by the privileged few. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, the morning of the 21st of March 1990 was meant to be the sunshine or sunrise of authentic liberation, a moment where the oppressed were to reclaim power, dismantle colonial rule, and reconstruct the nation in their image. Yet today, we stand amidst the ruins of a revolution betrayed. 35 years later, the working class remains in chains. The promise of the land restitution is nothing but a broken whisper. And the resettlement program has become a mechanism for patronage, benefiting a politically connected minority while excluding the majority. The economy is captured, serving the interests of the comprador bourgeoisie, not the people. We are not liberated to become wage slaves in a system that feeds off our labor and rewards the few. The revolution has been hijacked by the very class that thrives on the dispossession of the poor. Neoliberalism, elite capture, and endemic corruption have desegregated the dream of our forebears. This is not freedom. It is a mutation of colonial oppression, dressed up in the post-independence colors. True economic emancipation must begin with the abolition of capitalism or capitalist exploitation and the radical redistribution of wealth and power to the people. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, the scourge of child labor in Namibia lays bare the moral bankruptcy of a government that has abandoned its most vulnerable. Just a few months earlier, in the Orwakana constituency, I met a 14-year-old Absalom from Oshifo, toiling at the Etunda irrigation scheme, not out of choice, but survival, to feed his family. This is not an isolated tragedy. It is the lived reality of thousands of Namibian children robbed of their right to a dignified childhood. Our Constitution, through Article 15, Sub-Article 2, enshrines a child's right to education and protection from economic exploitation. Yet, this constitutional promise is ignored in practice, betrayed by a political elite that has normalized inequality and abandoned the rural child. This is not just policy failure, it is structural evidence, or structural violence rather. A liberation government that presides over such injustice cannot in good conscience claim to govern for the people. This is a betrayal of the revolution and failure of the statehood, and an indictment of the ruling class, or on the ruling class. Pardon me. The failures of this government are not accidental. They are calculated acts of omission designed to preserve a decaying status quo for party political expediency. The much touted youth employment programs have been absorbed into a bloated security sector, channeling young people into militarized structures of surveillance rather than economically productive sectors. This is not employment, it is containment. It is a deliberate attempt to pacify the youth, to keep them from organizing against structural poverty, unemployment, and exclusion. What we need are transformative programs that unlock the productive potential of our youth and direct it towards nation building. The state's current approach is exploitative, mobilizing the youth only during elections for votes and discarding them thereafter. This system has, for over 3 decades, served the narrow interest of a few while the majority remain spectators in the land of their birth. This shameful legacy must be broken and replaced with a radical alternative rooted in social justice and dignity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, the objective of our struggle was never to exchange white masters for black managers of a capitalist order. It was the reclaim of our sovereignty and build a self-determined, prosperous Namibia. But under the suffocating grip of capitalism, our people still face hunger, landlessness, censorship, political exclusion, and deep economic despair. Despite this, Namibians continue to look to this house with hope. But hope is not enough. The masses can no longer be expected to endure in silence while their lives are battered for luxurious cars, tenders, and political survival. This time for passive hope has ended now with this 8th Parliament, or 7th Parliament. The time has come to uproot the foundations of this oppressive system collectively. We must build a new order, one where the voices of the working class define the national agenda. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, we do not need to reimagine a new Namibia because our future has already been imagined through the blood, sacrifices, and resistance of those that fought during the liberation struggle. This land was not gifted to us by colonialists, nor will it be defined by the elites. It was forged by the resilience of our ancestors. What we require now is not more elite conferences or political grandstanding. We need a revolutionary shift in priorities. We must apply or amplify the voices of the marginalized, not as tokens, but as the rightful stewards of this land. We must dismantle capitalist economy, or the capitalist economy that continues to serve only a narrow class, and reconstruct it on principles of equity, public ownership, and democratic participation. The time for incrementalism is over. The people must rise as one with purpose and unity to confront and defeat the forces that have kept us in bondages or in bondage. The dream of a just Namibia is not a utopia, or it's not utopian. It is within our reach. This is a moment, this is our moment. This is our revolution, and we must let no force delay its fulfillment. In Windhoek and across other impoverished townships, we see Namibians living in riverbeds, makeshift shelters, exposed to the harsh realities of climate change and economic abandonment. Year after year, they suffer, and year after year, the state responds with photo ops and short-term remedies, such as the recent assessment visits that we saw in a helicopter or through a helicopter. That's short-sightedness. This is not governance, it is a negligence dressed in bureaucracy. A government worth its name must not abandon its people in the mud. We demand not charity, but a sustained, state-led housing and urban transformation plan, Honorable Sakwat Senkwansa. One that provides dignity, not pardon me, we are not asking for miracles. We are demanding that the state fulfills its basic constitutional obligation to its people. While we recognize the agency of the appropriation bill, we must approach this debate not as technocrats obsessed with line items, but as representatives of people caught in grip of hardship. On behalf of my political party, I can unfortunately, in good conscience, not support this budget in its current form. It is a document void of revolutionary intent. It is a budget of complacency, not courage. A budget, until you change that, we will debate further. A budget of control, not change. Until it reflects the interests of the masses, until it prioritizes land reform, food sovereignty, housing, jobs, and education, we shall stand in the principled rejection. Our people deserve more than rhetoric. They deserve a government ready to deliver the full promise of the liberation. I so submit.
Next is, we just revert back, next is Honorable April, then Honorable Somai. And then we are here.
Chief, Deputy Speaker.
Just wait, we'll give it in stages.
Deputy Speaker, I was next.
Chair was next.
Come again?
I was after him.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sir.
Yeah.
With honorables, they don't support others.
Honorable members in this distinguished August House, the mic is on. Can you hear me now?
They are here. They can hear.
They can hear you.
Just speak. Your minutes.
Fellow countrymen and women out there, I am rising on the strength of Rule 91. But before I get to my prepared speech, Honorable Speaker, it seems like me that there is a serious polarization happening in this house in terms of how issues are being viewed. Therefore, I'm going to expatiate as I get into the depth of my speech about what I have just said.
Let us listen.
I would like to recognize and congratulate the recently elected as well as appointed leadership as established by the speakers who rose before me to deliver their inaugural speeches in this house. I stand by that, hallelujahs, as it was sung.
Yeah, very good.
My gratitude goes to everyone who molded, guided, and taught me what life is about. In particular, those who shaped me to be the person I am today. I am a very meek person, but not to be walked over. Very respectful, but very principled. Loving, but not naive. And a servant to everyone here and others out there. I am Solomon Mentos Kuna Lutmanapra. I was proverbially raised by the village. I'm a village boy. Everybody in that village was my mother, my father, my oma, my opa, everything. Therefore, I thank all of them. Except for the only name we know during the liberation struggle, that of the founding father, the only name, and it was so much that I did not even know at that stage when I was a small boy in Haribas, that Sam Nuyoma was not God. I thought it was a different name for God. So on a Sunday morning, I sang his song, Sema Uribeni, in the church, until the pastor says, no, but you are wrong here, this is not politics. So that's the only name I knew. No, except that name, that time.
Oh, please, honorable members.
At Arantes Colon Foundation.
No, man, please.
At Arantes Colon Foundation, I'll deal with them, Speaker, don't worry. At Arantes Colon Foundation, there was a gentleman that would come Monday mornings to our morning assembly at the time of Mr. Leroux. And he would address us with swabo scarf on during the very heavy days, heat days of apartheid. Him and others whose names I'm going to call are my role models. He sits close to the Secretary General of the Swabo Party, the only party, the party that brought independence and rights to anyone in this country. Alphus Naruse. I never told him that he was my role model. He's probably just hearing now for the first time. Hendrik Bispoe, Martin Kabawasha, Jerry Ekanjo, John Panteni, Dr. Kameda, Comrade Tabanello, Paul Kalenga, Nanso Teshunomos. Those are people from whom I have seen what it means to be a revolutionary at a very tender age. I will fail in my job because people are because others are. Let me single out a name above all names. Comrade Dr. H.E. President Hake Kenko. An embodiment of astute intelligence, astute intelligence. A Democrat, provident visionary leader, a politician par excellence, a devoted God-fearing man. I am Mentos Aprilis indebted to him for having given me an opportunity to serve the Namibian people as the governor in the humble Hattab region. I pledge therefore to carry his legacy forward, even though I am cognizant of the fact that I do not fit in his shoes. I am from the south, Mariendal, Gibeon, and New Haribus. I do not want to toot my own horns, but I would like to, because of time, jump some of the staff here and say, I do not have limited access to classroom. I did my part in any classroom, from the basic to the secondary to the university, so I'm fine. I was a teacher, a youth activist, and of course my main job, a pastor.
Yes.
My job. My job. What I like about this house, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sir, is the vibrancy, the energy, and in general, the ambience in this house. I deeply am appreciative of the collection of brains and nerves that I see here and that I encounter every day. I should hasten to say, however, there is a charge against the SWAPO party and the government that for the last 35 years, nothing was done. Apparently, nothing was done. But then it seems like people are suffering of some sort of selective amnesia. I don't know. I would like to say, the fact that I appreciate this house, Mr. Speaker, sir, is there is a testimony, because everything starts with education. People on the other side of the aisle, as well as those this side, in the last 35 years, SWAPO and the government has delivered. We have a young professor and educated individuals there. Namibia must change. I'm rushing quickly. Honorable Speaker, I need to also try to give it through to everybody present here and my brothers and sisters out there. I'm also being scaffolded by realities of the past. The reference in point here is the resistance period. If I can imitate or inherit something, I'd like to inherit the resilience and the bravery with which those fathers and mothers said no to the imperialists without favor or something else. That bravery is what I am scaffolded on. As if that was not enough, the founding father and his league. The founding father and his league also tapped from the same bravery. So much so that what was impossible was made possible by them. They did the unbearable. That's bravery. That's resilience. And that's what I want to be during my time here and even after my time here. My perspective about this house, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I want to look a little bit smart, because I said I have no limitations about classrooms, so I need to also code like my other brothers and sisters were doing, but this time around from the Brady codes. My function in this house, my function in life is not to be a politician in parliament. It is to get something done. That's my reason for being in this. In light of the above, I am here to serve in order to get something done. I reckon that we are not here to fix each other, but to fix Namibia. Yes. In order to get something done, I believe we are not here to impress each other, but to repress and to eliminate the socio-economic issues that keep this nation besieged. We are not here to outsmart each other, because this is not a popularity contest. Leave him, I'll deal with him.
Yeah.
Therefore, in my view, the appropriate attitude towards our assignment should be to begin to differentiate a person from an issue. It is now time that we start to have issues with issues and problems with problems and not with each other. It is now time to stop apportioning blame and to take accountability to do something for the betterment of our people, and that is a collective responsibility. Everybody. Honorable Speaker, I for one am delighted to see, and I want my brothers and sisters on the other side of the aisle, without interrupting, to listen to what I'm going to say, because there's going to be a smart reference to them. Honorable Speaker, I am so delighted to see my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, even though the speed with which they are swelling in numbers is rather perturbing for me. They represent, besides that, they represent the socio-economic realities in a minute form in this House. They serve as a constant reminder to all of us here that the names they carry are problems we must, as a collective, seek to solve out there. Given the current trend that democracy allows, that almost every day a new political party is registered, I'm a little bit worried if we, all of us, would resort to just rhetorical statements without meaning business. Very soon we will have a different political party, jobless, unemployed, night girls movement coming to sit here. Those are challenges. We are here to get solutions for through better research laws to be passed by this House. I also want to look a little bit smart again, so I'm going to take a citation from Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. He accentuated by saying this, and this is for all of us. We should start to remember that we are not just for Namibia, we are part of the universe. Therefore, he says the following: you are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important all of us are. Quotation closed. Namibia is but a tiny part of the universe. Therefore, I want to implore all of us to work together. I don't know how many minutes am I timekeeper? 140. So then, therefore, we are here for the essence, and that is to serve the people and to get the country changed, not to fix each other here. No time for end sense, just for sense. The corruption story that all of us talk about, and every time corruption is spoken about, the eyes are fixed here. We are not corrupt. We are not corrupt. We are not corrupt. If there is somebody that is corrupt, be brave and identify the names, because what I have learned in grammar, English is only the likes can spot the likes in others. Yes, yes. But corruption, all of us can see the scorch and the pain of it. Therefore, let me say this, brothers and sisters, let's empower ICC. Let's empower ICC so that ICC can really do its stuff independently. Business is unusual. Albert Einstein says it's insanity to do things the same way and expect change. The president now has said business is unusual. Let's try to work on that system, get proper strategies, otherwise the what is supposed to be business as unusual will end as business as usual. We need to have proper strategies, approaches, and a better monitoring system in order to not this time just talk, but to deliver. What is cool is not cool. Thank you so much. Justice must be just, and fairness must be fair.
Honorable Somai. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you.
Come on, honorables. Am I not getting a hand of applause? Allow me to greet you honorable members in this August House. It's my honor and privilege to rise today as a member of 8th Parliament of our land of brave Namibia. I would like to express my gratitude to Almighty Father who created heaven and earth, the same Lord who also have mercy and blessing on our land, because with His mercy we are a peaceful country. Allow me to honor and acknowledge the founding father of our party, Dr. Kaup Justus Karweb, and all the founding members of UDF, United Democratic Front of Namibia. In the same vein, I will also acknowledge the President, Ndre Kaubayev, the current president of our party, a member of this August House, and all the rank and file of my party members and my family and friends. My beloved members of UDF, you are nothing without, I'm nothing without you. You stood long lines to cast a vote, and always I will be indebted to you. Thank you very much for voting the United Democratic Front of Namibia. My profound gratitude goes to all the caterers, all of you who made it possible for me to be among 96 elected members of this August House. I will fail if I do not recognize our founding father of the nation, late Dr. Sem Neoma, the late President Dr. Hagengop, the former President Puamba, as well as our current President. But I will fail also to recognize our late hero, Samson Emmanuel Cox, who was representing the country in difficult days, assigned after Lusaka Treaty to provide platforms for political parties to campaign. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, this gentleman addressing you now is known as Nico Maulius Usa Somaid, a born child of Aucho during the difficult times of apartheid regime. Aucho was one of towns which people felt brutality of apartheid. We were not allowed to eat white bread. We were only allowed to shop from the windows. Our freedom was only with pass systems. And our nickname was Kafes. And we honored them as Bore of pass. Not
Clean bus and fraud bus.
Honorable Speakers, honorable members, this individual standing here got matured in Kameyap. I serve Kameyap community as law enforcement officer, and then I serve the same community as council employee. The only village council who have a potential to become town, but I don't know, until now, it's still kept as village council. I serve the same community as a local authority councillor. I was supposed to be called mayor, but because of that, I was a chairperson of this village council for 5 years. And then I served the same community in Kamia constituency and Konene Regional Council as a staff member for 15 years, whereby I later became a regional councillor who was deemed resigned by electoral act this year. Honorable members, I was groomed by United Democratic Front from the section leadership, branch leadership, regional executive, and last year, January, I was elected as first young vice president of the party. The position that brought me to this August House to represent whole Namibia. After I've served local authority at regional level, I'm now at the national level, and I'm honored with this. When I was campaigning, honorable members, I had an ambition. And that ambition, I want us, all of us, 104 members, including Her Excellency and the Vice President, to buy into this ambition of mine. Because we are here for that task, to unite our ambitions for the betterment of Namibia. First one is housing, and I will applaud my Excellency. In her contract, we've indicated that per year she will build 10,000 houses. And that's also my ambition. For us to change these informal settlements at least into better houses. Honorable members, every day I'm commuting from Ogahangia to Windhoek. Every day I'm passing the wall constructed, almost 6 kilometers, with expensive bricks from UIS, double standard bricks. And my question is, behind this wall, we are having corrugated houses.
Iron sheets.
And my meaning is, what was so difficult to take those bricks and build houses and at least put the fence this side? Yes. But people are staying in sing houses and we have built a wall somewhere in the field. Was this for intention to balloon the tender to benefit the individuals? Or was there not a coordinated development or agreement between owners? But it's so sad. You are staying in the sing houses, and every afternoon, if I go back, people are sitting on that wall, showing us we have been discriminated. And I want Honorable Samkwaza to go into this. What was wrong? This wrong planning, and brief us about this. Honorable members, in my ambition, as I'm having a massive experience in regional and local development, local authorities are running out of land. And I'm requesting for us at least to expand these local authorities with 20 kilometers radius, because we are squeezed while we are having an open land. Let's negotiate with surrounding commercial farmers at least to expand these local authority boundaries. Dear members, while I'm still at housing, allow me to express my pain on the government employees housing scheme. The government have provided housing subsidy amounting 420,000 to employees on grades 15 and 14. But sadly, no bank institution is willing to provide employees this grade segment housing scheme. You have a housing allowance, but you cannot even afford. And it's same with us sitting in this August house. We are renting around, running around. Apparently we are having a housing scheme, but we cannot even afford to buy a 2-bedroom house with that housing scheme. So let's look into these issues. And I don't know why is government enforce the French benefits to government employees that they cannot even use to procure the houses for them. And the sad reality is we rely on NHE at least to provide low-costing houses for our Namibians. But even though they are having a framework in place to buy a house from NHE is massively expensive. It's high time for us to reinvest in local authorities for them to build houses for their own residents, instead of having built houses through the middlemen. That's where we are failing. Honorable members, we spoke about loans from government employees, from cash loans and whatever institutions. Why don't we at least allow a government employee, tax-free, to benefit from his pension investment? Allow the person to get a loan, a certain amount from his pension, because that is personal investment, for him to utilize for the purpose that is essential to them. On the natural resources, I commend Honorable Ifede for his call to revisit mining energy policies. And it's also another thing. Exclusive prospective license, we call EPLs. are not benefiting the locals in the area. It's on the names of individuals that never know where is Donres, how does it look like, but he's the EPL holder, license holder. So let's develop the policies that can benefit people from ancestral lands, for them at least to feel that prideness, to be called Namibians. Our cries from the Orendama in which must no longer fall on deaf ears. As parliamentarians, we must ensure that Namibians are not spectators, but stakeholders in the exploitation of our natural resources. On the balance structuring, Her Excellency proved to us that we have to balance the structures in our government institutions. And top 4 is from different tribes, from different ethnic groups and different sects. So I'm urging for us that are heading the ministries, that are heading the stakeholders, let us balance our structures. Not to group, if I am a Damara, all my subordinates are Damaras. Let's regroup and see whether we can build a better Namibian house. On the rural electrification, it's so sad coming from the rural areas. There are policies that are disadvantaging our communities. Only places with government offices and whatever will be electrified. What about those areas deep in the bush that will never acquire a government office? Then they are discriminated by this law. So let us also revisit these policies and see how we can employ, benefit all the Namibians. On the unemployment rate, for 40 years we cry about it. China won't struggle with their with the drought all along, and with their turnaround strategy. China is now a powerhouse today, and it can trade in the whole world. We must industrialize our approach in terms of economy. Let us industrialize our country. Instead of driving out, exporting our raw materials to foreign countries, why don't we finish our products here and then export it? In Konene, stones have been transported and exported to China and wherever. But if we industrialize our country, we can also create more employment. On the procurement system, it really failed us as leaders. Up to now, I'm still sitting with uncompleted projects at my constituency because of procurement. Let us cut out the middlemen. Yes. For past years, we have accompanied our friends, our comrades to get tenders. Let us cut and revisit this procurement policy for us to fast track the implementation. We can have a good budget, but this long pipe of procurement is blocking our development goals. On the tax regime, Honorable Minister of Finance, kindly review our tax regime and let us make it so attractive so that we can attract direct foreign investment. On the ECN, Honorables, that ECN must make sure to run the process free and fair. Namibians are very much friendly and cooperative nation. But with the horror movie that was playing last year, it will change the personality of our country. In conclusion, Honorable Member, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I would like for us to look into our budget, because, as I've said, if we do not industrialize and meaningfully plow into agriculture, we will not grow economically. But with our current budget, it shows us that we are hesitant to play the game with big giants. Before I sit down, as minutes are consuming my time, let us stop to test each other our intellectual capacities. Let us combine our intellectual capacities to build this nation for betterness. That's why we are sitting here. So with these few words, Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, thank you.
Next is Honorable, no, it's Honorable Chair, then we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, fellow Namibians. I, Marius Sikunawa Tioleni Shea, rise today deeply humbled and immensely honored to deliver my maiden speech in accordance with Part 4, Rule 91 of the Standing Rules and Orders of this August House. On the 20th of March 2025, I walked into this chamber for the first time as a member of Parliament, drawing strength, inspiration, and courage from the giants who walked before me. These corridors echoed with the voices of our founding fathers and mothers, the visionaries who laid the foundation of our republic. Their legacy is not only one of liberation, but one of obligation, a deep responsibility to now liberate our people economically. I pay my deepest respects to the pillars of our republic, the founding father, His Excellency Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nujoma, who taught us to fight for our land and our dignity. The second president, His Excellency Dr. Hifike Punye Lucas Pohamba, whose calm strength nurtured peace and nation building. The third president, His Excellency Dr. Hage Godfrey Kengo, my mentor, scholar and a true nation builder, a visionary who saw potential where others saw inexperience. At 28, he entrusted me to serve as governor of Kunene region. Your faith in me lives on, President Kengo, and wherever you are, I hope I make you proud. The fourth president, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, whose dedication to duty and continuity of service reminds us of that loyalty to country must always surpass personal ambition. And our fifth and incumbent president, Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, the first woman to ascend to the highest office in our land. Madam President, your rise is a testament to every Namibian child that her dreams are valid. I pledge to you, Your Excellency, and our cabinet, my commitment and support towards the full implementation of your vision and the SWAPO Party manifesto and the development agenda for a greater Namibia. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I stand here as a proud Namibian child, shaped by Namibia's past, driven by the promise of its future. Born in the dusty streets of Ocho, to the union of my late father, Thomas Adam Shea, and my mother, Cornelia Mwasheka Nkali Shea. I'm a product of sacrifice, service, and unwavering belief in the Namibian dream. My father, a hotel worker turned businessman, local councillor, and a regional councillor, embodied the very essence of the Namibian spirit: resilience, hard work, and community service. My mother, Meme Cornelia Shea, a retired nurse, continues to be the pillar of our family and my campus. To the Nkali, Shea, and Katumbo, my external, maternal, and paternal family, thank you for grooming and shaping and providing for me. I'm grateful and indebted to the church that nurtured me, including this pastor who's sitting here, the schools that taught me, the communities that raised me, the SWAPO Party that afforded me many platforms, the people of Kunene who entrusted me with the leadership as the mayor of Ocho and later as the regional governor. And now I thank SWAPO Party and the Namibian people for placing their trust in me as a member of the 8th Parliament. Honorable members, I'm not here by accident. I'm here because many leaders before me created a pathway. from Pastor Twakosep as my pastor and the first black mayor of Ocho, to principals Faniker and Bok at Ocho Primary and Martin Luther High School, from Mandela Kapere, who shaped youth leadership across our land, to the Right Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Elia Ngurare, Honorable Veiko Nekundi, and Honorable Ephraim Nekongo, who shaped my political life at Swapo Party Youth League. To President Kengo, who entrusted me with the governorship of one of the most complex regions in this country. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. Martin Luther King once said. My leadership was groomed in the church, tested in classroom, and refined through service. As the head boy at Ocho Primary School, as the chairperson of the SRC at Martin Luther High School, as a student at the University of Namibia, at National Youth Council, as mayor of Ocho, as a member of the Alan Association, as a member of the Governors Forum, as the governor of Kunene region, as a member of the Swapo Party Youth League and the Swapo Party Central Committee. These roles were not positions. They were platforms to listen. These roles were not positions. These were platforms to listen, learn, lead, and most importantly, to serve. I bring to this house the voices of the people of Namibia at all spheres of society, who dream of a better life, and of citizens who believe Parliament must not only debate but deliver. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as we enter this new parliamentary term, Namibia stands at crossroads. We are a youthful nation with boundless potential, but the dreams of our people are weighed down by economic inequality, unemployment, underdevelopment in most regions, and slow service delivery. The challenges are real, but they are not insurmountable. We are the 8th Parliament. We must be the Parliament that shifts from speeches to solutions. Our laws must reflect the realities of 2025 and not 1995. Our oversight must be meaningful, and our budget must translate into dignity for the ordinary Namibian. We must be a Parliament of economic emancipation. I congratulate Honorable Erika Shafuta, Minister of Finance, for an inclusive budget that seeks to address these realities. I'm looking forward to meaningfully contribute to the debates of the respective votes. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in line with the 2023 Population and Housing and Labour Reports, as released by the Namibia Statistics Agency in 2024 and 2025 respectively, I believe our people expect 3 things from all of us here. 1, to be their voice, to speak truth to power and to represent their lived realities. 2, to craft responsive laws, laws that address poverty, land, housing, education, and economic participation. 3, to build consensus across aisles, because hunger does not wear a party color and unemployment does not vote in one direction. We need to urgently address the following: a clear funding model for all 57 local authorities, starting with a minimum of 10 million per annum to enable administrative and capital development. The accelerated formalization of informal settlement through tested programs like Sheikh Dwellers Federation and Build Together, implemented with community participation and without middlemen. Legislation to ensure every Namibian first-time buyer must get service land for free or minimal cost in all 57 local authorities. Legislation to ensure every Namibian house is electrified, just like we have that says where there are schools and clinics, there must be electricity. We must say where there is a Namibian in that house, it must have electricity connected. I speak this, Deputy Speaker, with experience, because where I come from, we have a lot of rural clinics and hospitals, where the lines are passing through people's houses to take to state buildings. We must reverse that with a legislation that says every Namibian house must be electrified. Legislation to ensure every constituency, 121 constituencies, has a minimum of a primary school, a secondary school, a healthcare center equipped with a mortuary and an ambulance, access to electricity and clean water. Legislation to ensure infrastructure and services across all 14 regions must have referral hospitals. Each region must have a referral hospital. Each region must have vocational training centers. Each region must have a UNAM and a NAS campus. Not the NAS that they want to go and build at Ludwigsdorf for 700 million. They must take that 700 million and divide it into 7 regions to 100 million per region. Then we will address these particular issues. Economic development hubs tailored to each region's unique resources. I think PDM and also SWAPO and others have been a lot talking about each constituency must have a factory, it must have something. We must ensure that it happens during our time as members of parliament. Honorable Deputy Speaker, let us dream of a Namibia where a child from every unserved area, like Tupuses, like a child in Sederhof, has equal access to opportunity, where every young Namibian is not only employed but empowered to employ others, where our policies speak the language of the people, practical, inclusive and transformational. Honorable Speaker, we are not measured by the presence of our impact, but rather by the impact of our presence. I propose the establishment of a youth caucus within this parliament. Let us come together irregardless of our political affiliation to collectively address the generational challenges we face. We must carry forward the vision of unity and nation building that is characterized by our earlier post-independence parliament. The era of working in silos must end. If Namibia is to rise, we must rise together. Let this 8th parliament be known. Let this 8th parliament not be known for its noise, but for national impact. In conclusion, I'm here to serve, not to shine. I carry with me the hopes of my peers, the prayers of the elders, the promise I made to the next generation that in my lifetime we shall not only attain freedom but through economic emancipation. Leadership is service, not position. I dedicate my service in this house to opportunities and solutions for the better lives of the Namibian people. To every Namibian who dares to dream beyond poverty, may we leave behind a Namibia better than we found here. Honorable Speaker, we are here on record, Deputy Speaker. NBC is every day recording very nice, and I am a little bit tempted, Deputy Speaker, to put certain things into perspective as a person who was entrusted to govern a region called Kunene. When we speak, we must speak with facts and information that is factual. Yes. And why I say this is because people come and say, Kunene people are waiting for 3 months to get birth certificates and IDs. My living God, I don't know which Kunene that is. Because the Kunene where I come from, the Kunene where I was governing, I slept in the bushes together with officials, and we were issuing, even in the most remote areas, we were issuing national documents at the spot. Yes. And I am very lucky that my chairperson of the regional council is here, the former councillor is here of Kamanyap, and my mother, the former mayor of Opo, she was accompanying because we did this collectively. I'm a collective human being. Yes. So we must, when we talk of Kunene in this 8th parliament, talk with facts, because I will respond to things that are not factual. That does not say... That Honorable Deputy Speaker does not say that we have challenges. The challenges are there, and we must raise them. And I will be the first one to also stand up and to support a motion or any other thing that is not very good towards our youth, our people, especially the black people of Namibia. But it must be factual. And where we don't have information, we must ask for information, because here and there, all of us here, we have enough experience to deal with issues that our people face. We must put issues first, then any other thing in this parliament. We must debate issues that must take us forward. Whether a child is from Omalala, where my mother hails from and my professor hails from, it does not matter. What matters is the services of Namibia must reach each and every Namibian wherever he is. And that is what I will bring to the table, Deputy Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, honorable members. Thank you. Now we give Honorable Bush. Mark 15.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, today I rise before this august house not only as a parliamentarian, but as a testament to time, to tenacity, and to transformation. With humility cradled in one hand and pride in the other, I deliver my first words in this chamber, in the sacred halls of Namibia's democracy. Nearly 2 decades ago, a much younger Sharonese was right here. Not yet a member of parliament, but a child with a voice, a dreamer, a speaker of the Children's Parliament in 2005. That circle has come full. A 360-degree arc of faith, vision, and grit. As my comrade and dear friend, Honorable Willem Mamutenia, said in his maiden speech, this is the embodiment of hope and conviction. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, I am not here on my own. I stand firmly upon the foundation built by giants, giants of heart, of wisdom, and of nationhood. I stand on the shoulders of the late Dr. Theoben Gurirab, whose intellect was a lighthouse and whose diplomacy taught a young girl from Rehoboth, Block B, that greatness can also be gentle. I stand with gratitude to Honorable Neville Andre Itope, whose simple act of recruiting me into NANSO became a catalyst in my journey. Through the students' movement, I was shaped by some of the finest minds in our nation's fabric. Leaders like Honorable Pohamba Shifeta, McAlbert Hengari, Jerry Madino Hamba, Cosmos Ehumbo, George Maimbelo, Timothy Angala, Stanley Kavetu, and many others who have sharpened my thinking and deepened my purpose. To my comrades in the Swapo Party Youth League, I salute you. Right Honorable Elijah Ngurare, or Chief, as we used to call him back then, and Honorable Ephraim Nekongo, you have raised a generation of young leaders who do not fear the weight of national duty, but we embrace it with lion-hearted courage. I honor the late Mandela Kapere, a visionary mentor and Pan-Africanist. He stirred within me a love for African solidarity and youth transformation, carrying my cause to the National Youth Council as its executive chairperson, and to the Pan-African Youth Union currently as its vice president. To the late Dr. Hage Geingob, our third president, thank you. Your belief in discipline, excellence, and in me elevated my voice and purpose. Your trust lives in every word with what I speak here today. And to the trailblazing women, those who cracked glass ceilings so we may walk freely, Kate Shepherd, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa, thank you for walking the journey so we can too. Above all, I stand on the enduring spirit of the Namibian people. You, the dreamers, the doers, and the defenders of our democracy. Through the ruling party, Swapo Party, you have entrusted me with this sacred duty. I carry it with solemnity, fierce love, and unwavering commitment to people-centered and compassionate leadership. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, my journey tells a story that we must all remember. The power of a dream is still the most radical tool of transformation we own. George Bernard Shaw once said, don't just look at the world and ask why. Dare to imagine the unseen and ask yourself, why not? It is our collective duty as representatives of the people to dream responsibly, legislate courageously, and govern with empathy, to build in Namibia where the impossible becomes inevitable. Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members of Parliament, on the appropriation bill, I extend my sincere congratulations to Honourable Minister Erica Shafuda and her visionary team. The 2025-2026 appropriation bill is not just but numbers on a page. It is a manifesto of progress. It lays the tracks for infrastructure, cultural revitalization, and entrepreneurship and economic justice. I welcome the support for livestock farmers through the Equalization Fund and the revitalized affirmative action loan schemes. Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members, food security is sovereignty, and Namibia must grow what she eats and support those who make it possible. I am deeply encouraged by the bill's investment in our youth. Doubling youth-related funding is not a favour, Honourable Deputy Speaker. It is a long overdue commitment. From the National Youth Council to the National Youth Service, we see a serious response to the cries and creativity of our young. The allocation for sports, some 450 million in total, signals that we understand sport not only as play, but as a profession, platform, and pride. From new stadiums to grassroots leagues, we are on course to build dreams into discipline. The 780 million investment into healthcare infrastructure is not only just a budget line, it is a pledge. Our people deserve hospitals that heal, not halls that crowd. Let us now clear the red tape that blocks medicine from shelves and ensure policy that works for the people, not against them. The appropriation bill carries the potential to transform lives if we dare to steward it well. I'm reminded of Lyndon B. Johnson's words, who said, "For every generation, there is a destiny. For some, history decides. For us, we must choose." The crossroads is here. The choice is ours. Will we shape a Namibia that is inclusive, equitable, and united in prosperity, or will we allow history to choose for us? Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members, on a personal note, I have to say, I honour the woman who was my first teacher, my late grandmother, Hildegard Poppy Losper. She woke me up at 5 a.m. every morning with a Bible in the hand, faith in her heart, teaching me that truth is just not read, it is lived. To my mother, Cheryl Bush, your strength is my compass. Your prayers have paved every path that I've walked. To my uncles Marius and Cecil, thank you for being the village that raised my brother and I, Granton. To my sons Cairo and Caleb, who are 7 and 6 years old respectively, you are my purpose. You are my fight. I am here to craft a Namibia for you that does not just promise, but a Namibia that delivers. The revolution will be televised, Cairo and Caleb, and we will be the ones filming it. As I close, Theodore Roosevelt once said in 1910, "The credit belongs to the man in the arena." Today I step into the arena with dust on my face, purpose in my heart, and ready to dare greatly for Namibia. Let us all be such men and women in our own arenas, in our own ways, builders of a Namibia that we all believe in. I support this appropriation bill, Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members. May its vision take flight, and may we never lose sight of those who entrusted us to carry it. I thank you.
Wow. It looks like
Next on the, we are about, okay, half an hour to go, more or less. I'll maybe call upon Honorable James Herikwa.
The Lord. Honorable Speaker of the House, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Speaker in absentia, Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Chief Whip of the Government, the Secretary General of the Mighty Swabo Party, the Deputy Chief Whip of our Mighty Swabo Party, all members present here, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and indeed, my dear brother Ims Nashinge, former Swabo Party member, now the leader of the official opposition in this August House. I want to acknowledge your presence, my dear brother. I rise today on this August House, Honorable Speaker, a son of the descendants of the victims of genocide that have caused and resulted in the total annihilation and extermination of 65,000 Hereros and 15,000 Namas. In today's calculation, the total value of movable and immovable assets that we have lost as a nation, it was around 235 billion Namibian dollars. And indeed, that dark chapter still follows us today. I am a son of a domestic worker. I am a son of a peasant farmer. And indeed, they have raised me through thick and thin, through the dusty streets of Katutura, in yesteryears when some of my members on the other side were not even yet born. And indeed, as I rise today, I look at myself and I say, James, indeed, through thick and thin, you made it here. My mother and my father are both from Gam settlement. My mother stays in Ochitherandu, and that is a small area in Gam settlement, a settlement that was established in 1993 following the first returnees of Botswana that came back to Namibia. Those are Botswana citizens of Namibian descent. But today, indeed, I look back and I say, among the whole population of our small community, James, you are in the 8th Parliament of the Republic of Namibia. The inclusivity of our leadership model as far as the Mighty Swabo Party is concerned, the grooming, the molding, have even propelled me to higher grounds to say that stand your ground and be ready to take the bull by its horn. I stand here today looking back at the historical dealings of our country. Namibia at independence have been inherited a skewed land ownership model. An ownership model in which my dear brothers that I put through on the other side have led to what we are experiencing today. But I'm guided by the spirit of none other than those forebears that walked before us. Those forebears that shaped who we are and who we are today. The likes of Samuel Maharero, the likes of Hendrik Bedboy, Kahime Mwa Guvauva, Nicodemus Kambaha Hida, Ipumbu ya Shilongo, Mandumu ya Demfayo, and many others, who have forgiven their youthfulness for nothing else but the total liberation of Namibia by standing in resistance of the colonial forces that wanted to conquer the Republic of Namibia, by then a free and independent Southwest Africa. Indeed, that very spirit is carried forward by our forebears, with the leadership of the founding father, His Excellency President Sam Shafishuna Nujoma, may his soul rest in eternal peace, who led the revolution of this country and launched a critical struggle that was 43 fronts. That is the political front, the political front, military front, and indeed, finally, the diplomatic front. It has given birth to the Republic of Namibia on the 21st of March, 1990. We sit here in a free and independent Namibia after 35 years, and we are sharing a platform that is an opportunity for us to shape the Republic of Namibia in its rightful trajectory towards nothing else but the total liberation and prosperity of the Namibian child. And in doing so, the Swabo Party, in its manifesto of 1989, already declared land as a critical component that we need to deal with. In its first land conference of 1991, indeed, commercial land was declared an issue that needs attention. In the implementation of the Commercial Land Reform Act, Act number 5 of 1996, read together with the National Resettlement Policy of 2001, indeed, a lot of work has to be done. The skewed land ownership model that I'm talking about, honorable members and honorable speakers today, guided, Deputy Speaker, guided by Proverbs 31, verse 8 to 9, that says, indeed, can I get an amen on that one? Speak up for those who cannot talk for themselves, and for the right of the destitute. And the same Proverb 9 says, verse 9, speak up and judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. I am guided by that very proverb. And I would like to read that very proverb with another one of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2 to 3. And it says, that says, be the shepherds of God's flock that is under your care and watch over it. What you are doing with that is that it is guiding you that as a people that you are seated here, do not try to be hallucinative, do not try to be false in narrating the reality. We are dealing with economic issues that you are telling us that nothing is happening in this country for 35 years. Yet none of you is talking about the skewed land ownership that we have inherited. Junius Kanjege gives us a report and he says, 36.7 million hectares of land is still in the hands of the previously advantaged members of our society. It is because yourselves as a people and as a nation, we need to be united and again fight against that very injustice. An injustice where the land ownership was never given back to its rightful people. We need to deal with that issue. Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Hengari, will be bringing what you call a land bill. In that land bill, a clause will be coming that is going to deal with issues of expropriation. And we require you as our brothers to be in support of that. For indeed, we need to readdress this injustice. We don't have to be in bed with the colonizers and pretend that the economy is skewed because of our dealings. As we are building on the strong foundation laid by the founding father, carried on by the second president, Dr. Hifike Punye Pohamba, and indeed guided by the Namibian House of President Hage Godfrey Geingob that says nobody should feel left out. A person who have molded and shaped some of us to be who we are, what we are. Identified the son of a domestic worker and said, indeed in you I trust. Go lead Oshodonjupa region, responsible for a population of 220,811 Namibians, with a geographical size of 150,466 square kilometers. Indeed, go lead them, the 7 constituencies. And as I take center stage in this house, the Republic of Namibia, with a population of 3,022,403 Namibians, with a geographical size of 842,292 square kilometers. I am going to be doing nothing else but to carry the mantra of ensuring that Namibia's trajectory is reshaped towards prosperity for all. Our president, Menetumbo Nandi Daitwa, ordained and of course given that very responsibility by the Almighty God, for indeed every leadership sits and comes from God. She says, I want to lead the Republic of Namibia through one, unity in diversity, natural resource beneficiation, and nothing else, youth empowerment for sustainable development. It is a noble cause. Ambanda will never drink what I'm not like you. It is a noble cause. Indeed, that requires all of us to be taking the center stage and say, let us move away from grandstanding. Let us move away from Twitter community grandstanding, popularity stands, for there is no paparazzi here. Let us deal with issues of commonality, socio-economic challenges that we are facing. Because the Swapo Party in its manifesto and implementation plan acknowledges the challenges that we are facing. What are those challenges? Housing, unemployment, poverty, landlessness, all these things are being recognized and acknowledged. But indeed, through the principles of accountability as agreed upon, my dear brothers, accountability is not a one-way traffic, but it's a two-way traffic. It is high time that all political parties, the money that you get as proceeds from this August House, you need to account. Tell us also what you use this money for, in whose account does it go? Because at the point, we were informed that some of you have submitted your own bank account. Some of you have submitted your own bank account. Instead.
Hello, honorable members, let us, others can't say they can't hear.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, moving forward, the exorbitant land pricing is a cause of concern in the Republic of Namibia. Today, commercial farms go to the extent of even costing 100 million. And what is worrisome, some of this is even advertised in foreign currency, especially euros and pounds. The question that I always ask myself, who is the target customer? This very August House, we need to come and be able to contain that issue and make sure that our country shouldn't be on sale, as my brothers would want to put it. We should contain the land issue and make sure that indeed we address these challenges. The land bill. There is a need for us to invest strongly in the small-scale farmers where in the areas of Oshodonjupas, eastern part of it, there is around 2 million hectares of land that is virgin land. We need to reticulate water from our strong aquifers that are in Ngongoro and Koblenz and make sure that this water will create what you call small-scale farms measuring 2,500. We are able to unlock that and give around 300 small-scale farms in that area. And I need your support and for us to work together in this August House. For it is not about grandstanding, but it is about objectivity towards national discourse. I want to address myself, Honorable Deputy Speaker, to the meat industry. Today we are fighting the battle of the livestock sector and meat industry. There are around 3 export standard abattoirs in our country. And that is Meatco, Beefco, and Brucaros, and of course we are seeing the 4th one coming, which is Savannah Beef. Competition is a good thing, but competition shouldn't come at the expense of killing an institution like Meatco that carries a national mandate. Meatco need to be protected through thick and thin, and as a result, we recommend strongly that indeed a turnaround strategy will be put in place. Let us support our cause towards Meatco and ensure that it carries that national mandate, but a turnaround strategy is needed. And indeed, the communal land issue. It is worrisome for us that indeed our communal land has no value. Whatever property that you construct on communal land has no value. We need to move into a space where we make our communal land to become bankable, where properties that you put on them can be admitted as a collateral at the banking institution for us to address the issue of income inequality. The National Defence Force. Indeed, we need to capitalize on that and actually strengthen our capacity as far as Defence Force is concerned. I want to thank the Honourable Minister of Finance. The Honourable Minister of Finance on your transition budget that you have crafted. The short period of time that you actually took office and you managed to come up with this budget. A budget of 106 billion Namibian dollars. That is to indicate that indeed you are a forward-looking minister in a forward-looking and progressive cabinet under our capable leadership of the President. Our budget is pro-social because 45% of it is directed towards social programs. 19% of it is directed towards defense. And indeed, that is to indicate that we are on a move towards ensuring that we close our gaps of social architecture. I am about to conclude. Let us not sit here and conclude and think that indeed in the Republic of Namibia nothing is done, as I am hearing from my other side. After 35 good years, Namibia has been rated as the country with the best roads infrastructure for 5 consecutive years. A total today. Secondly, our health infrastructure have actually evolved, and today we have a resilient system. Post-COVID, Namibia is in a system where we say universal healthcare is going to be entrenched in us. Allow us to speak, Comrade Eames. You were a member of the Swabo Party. Today you are sitting there. Honorable Mukanda, you were a member of the Swabo Party. Today you are sitting there. Honorable Karonga, Honorable Kandongo. I want to thank you all, the members of the Swabo Party. Make sure that you support the bill and you support the government of the Republic of Namibia. We are on a march towards victory. We will never at any point. Indeed, let us step towards that. Forward with the manifesto of the Swabo Party. Thank you. Thank you. Forward with the Republic of Namibia. Forward. We give gratitude to all of you, and I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. Please, I said in the beginning, the speaker's job is just to guide. Your reflection when the speaker comes in is because of you. It takes two to tango. The good speeches, the good whatever, must be lived and be seen by others. The tolerance, the cohesion that you are seeking for others must emanate from here. So on that score, please let us listen to each other, we don't look the same, we don't need to look the same, but we are provided by Kalunga, by the Almighty, to preside over the others who have entrusted upon us. It's a noble responsibility. But I'm saying whatever we do here must reflect the cohesion that you want. Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Ims Emmanuel Wiseman. The light is flicking, you can see.
Honorable.
Just wait for the
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I want to beg for your indulgence so that I go straight into my contribution to the budget.
Honorable Ampanda, can you sit down? Can you? It's a maiden speech. If there is an issue, Honorable Ampanda, please. No, Honorable Ampanda, please. I'm saying I've given the floor to Honorable Wiseman Emmanuel to give his maiden speech. If the light was on, and here it's here. But the light was on. Okay. I think the presiding. Okay. I'm giving Honorable Wiseman the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'm not too sure whether I am a subject of Rule 91, Rule 1. For the very first word, or second word rather, under that rule, I would like to believe it does exempt me. I want to beg for indulgence so that I go straight into my contribution to the budget.
No. Honorable, sit down, Honorable Member.
Okay, be that as it may.
Sit first, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, let us provide to take the vote forward. It's not the members to inform the presiding member what to do. I've given you the floor to take, and as customary, this is your first intervention in this House. And therefore, in terms of English, you will know that that's your maiden speech. It's your, the priest will say. So I give you the floor to deliver your first speech in this House that is deemed under the protocol we are following as the maiden speech.
Okay.
Thank you.
I shall proceed as it pleases you, Honorable Speaker, but I want to urge ourselves just to look at the construction of that very rule. But be that as it may, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members of this august House, taking the floor, at this appropriate and most convenient moment is none other than Wise Emmanuel. Otherwise, the Wise Emmanuel. Honorable Speaker, I have entered the parliamentary corridors, through constitutionally, following my appointment by Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. In terms of Article 32, Sub-Article 5C, and as if that was not humbling enough, the President proceeded in a manner consistent with Article 32, Sub-Article 3G, and charged me with the ministerial responsibility caring for justice and labor relations. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, true to the general character of humanity and specific to that of my own. My being in this august house is indebted, or my appointment to this house, for my appointment to this house, I'm overly indebted to Her Excellency. The debt that I owe her, it's one that I will never be able to repay in my lifetime. However, I want to beg for your indulgence so that I announce that in my conversation with her, we have agreed that the only way I can pay that debt is by using the currency of personal time, and delivery of genuine service to the citizens of this country. Honorable Speaker, I want to indicate that we have a responsibility, we have a moral duty, we have a constitutional duty as we sit in this august house. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, echoing through the ceilings of this Parliament is a voice of an interdisciplinary student, having read law, economics, management strategy, leadership, governance, and presently pursuing, a PhD in IT law with the University of Wits in South Africa. Honorable Speaker, I have traded in a number of professions, and I have started off as a regional development planner under the Commerce Regional Council. I moved on to the University of Namibia, being the head of student leadership development and support services, during which I have spearheaded, several programs, that unleashed the talents of young students then and helped them to transform into the useful, relevant, and responsible citizens that they are today. A smile is coming from the professor, a conversation that everyone is quite familiar with. Honorable Speaker, I then moved to the School of Medicine. I was the founding and the pioneering head of the campus administration at the School of Medicine, having pioneered the establishment of that school from the administrative management, to administrative management of processes, toward what it is today. The School of Medicine, in the form that it stands, carry the signature of the wise Emmanuel. Honorable Speaker, I then moved to the Namibia Student Financial Assistance Fund until recently, where I held the position of Executive Governance, Legal Services and Company Secretarial. I am quite rounded insofar as issues of leadership, issues of law, issues of reform is concerned. I have served in a number of board and read a number of reform, as I have indicated. I read the reform at the then repealed Tender Board of Namibia that translated into the creation of the present Central Procurement Board. It's enabling legislation. I served as a member of the Council of Namibia Qualification Authority. I served in the University Council, and I served as a member of the Public Central Procurement Review Panel until quite recently. Honorable Speaker, echoing through the ceilings of this Parliament is a rural boy born to Adelheid Neliwa, a lady of an Oshindonga origin, fathered into Nkamba Washalongo clan, and to Emmanuel Kotokeni Simeon, a descent of a lady, of a prince from Mombaja Traditional Authority, who during the early resistance between the Wambaja and the colonial forces fled to Ondonga in hope that she would survive, so that she can continue growing the lineage, of the kingdom of Oshimbaji. She then went and seek refuge under the kingdom of Kambonde Kambinkana, who was at Rukonda at the time, while the brother was at Oshitambi in the eastern Ondonga. So I have lived poverty, I have lived homelessness, and I have lived, I have experienced landlessness, and I know what it means to be unemployed. I know what it means to depend, on the handout of the Samaritans and the common efforts of the society. Honorable Speaker, my belief of what we should do as members of this August House, it's very specific. That I believe that Parliament must not be a platform for rhetorics. Parliament must not be a platform of assessing who speaks the best English and who doesn't. Parliament must be a platform in terms of which we seek to legislate our people out of poverty. Parliament must be a platform in terms of which we legislate our people out of hunger. Parliament must be a platform in terms of which we legislate our people out of illiteracy. Parliament must be a platform in terms of which we legislate our people out of crime, out of homelessness, and out of unemployment, out of poor conditions of employment, as well as out of informal settlement, and the list goes on. This can only be done if we self-apply without, regard to popularity, positioning, and without, regard to who runs the fast, or the fastest rather. We must become people-centered. We must be people-driven as being politically driven. So, and this we can only achieve once we declare ourselves as exponential leader. Honorable Speaker, I come to this Parliament, very intentional that I must apply myself to become a leader of the legislative agenda as entrusted upon me by the President, the Excellency the President of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndeitwa. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I come to Parliament and I commit myself to make sure that I shall promote, the social dialogues that shall contribute to industrial harmony in this country. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I commit myself to make sure that I become the champion for decent work for the Namibian employees. I come to Parliament with a pledge that I shall put in place and contribute to laws that contribute to the dignities of our workers. I come to Parliament with a very intentional commitment that I shall apply myself and make myself available to contribute, to the laws that would ensure that employment creation is created in this country. Honorable Deputy Speaker, with that, I have no reservation to support the budget as diligently and meticulously presented by our Honorable Minister of Finance. I thank you.
Thank you. It's now. Thank you very much. The next speaker will be the Right Honorable Prime Minister of our Republic.
Thank you very much. I must do technology here. Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I beg your indulgence. We have just learned of an accident that occurred north of Chiwarongo, and it appears to be a chemical accident. I think let's use this opportunity to alert our citizens who may be using that road to be very careful. And it has been declared that a 500-meter zone has been established. So it is just a public announcement and a cautionary note to our people. I don't know whether that will eat into my time.
No, I think we'll grant you that latitude.
Thank you very much. Honorable Deputy Speaker, a product of the Youth League of SWAPO. We congratulate you as well as the Speaker. Honorable members, I rise with humility and respect, especially for the youth generation in this august House. I congratulate Her Excellency, also the product of the Youth League, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah herself, also from the Youth League, on a historic election as first female president of the Republic of Namibia. I thank her equally for my appointment as Prime Minister and also inclusion in this 8th Parliament. I'm here in the executive and in the legislature to support her, the President, the mandate given to her by the Namibian people, and equally to realize the SWAPO Party election manifesto, a social contract she personally championed across the regions. She was in every region more than twice before the campaign. The people have invested their hopes in her leadership, and we in the executive as well as here in the legislature are here to assist and hopefully from the other side to join with us in fulfilling these aspirations. Above all, I am a servant of my generation, dedicated to our people and country. I also salute Secretary General of SWAPO, Comrade Sophia Shaningwa, for your support and leadership. I salute the Chief Whip and Deputy Chief Whip of our party that are here and other Chief Whips. I congratulate all members of the 8th Parliament, all of you, including the youthful Lukato. Honorable ministers, deputy ministers, the leader of the official opposition, former Secretary of Economic Affairs of the SWAPO Party Youth League, now is the leader of the official opposition of IPC, and leaders of APP, and AR, former Secretary of Information and Publicity of SWAPO Youth League, now is for AR. Honorable Clinton Swartboy, also former Secretary of Information for the Youth League, and now he's a leader of LPM. PDM Mnaina, I failed. When we were in that country, you were mentioning, I was trying to recruit him, but we agreed that let it be, we can have Kapana regardless of our political affiliations, and we'll work for the interest of our people. Mnaina, I salute you too. Swanu leadership, NUDO, UDF, NDP, RP, Body of Christ, Bishop. Have I left out anybody? I don't want to leave out anybody. Who? NEF, yeah, the youth, yes. It's also from our generation. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, my name is Chitunga Liangurare. Chitunga means build. Let's build. Born in Kurenkuru, Kavango West, my upbringing marked by hard work and responsibility as a firstborn instilled in me the values of patience, resilience, and self-sacrifice. By being a firstborn as a boy, it means I have to pound mahango, I have to fetch fish, I have to abba my siblings, and all other manners of things. My years in the youth fraternity taught me the importance of empowering others. While I face challenges, I recognize that many in our society face far greater hardships, and we must strive to assist them. I'm a product of many individuals, those who place bricks to build my life. from Kurenkuru, Siurungu, Nyangana, Kachinakachi to Arandes. I thank my teachers, pastors, traditional leaders, the late Hompa Stentumpasi and Hompa Leno Shashpap. To my family, thank you for your unwavering belief. To my mother, Nana Nyachitunga, and my late father, Tata Jonas Ngurare Manongo, thank you for life. To my late grandmother, I happened to be raised by my grandmother, so I'm a grandmother boy. I salute her, and most certainly on the 1st of May, I will go to Kachinakachi and pay my respect. To my teachers, here in the country and beyond, I pay my debt of gratitude. My late Miss Cornelia Muhura from Machete, my mother who assisted me when I was in Arandes, I will equally pay my respect. To my comrade wife, Dr. Bettina Mbute Ngurare, thank you for the love and support and for being mtetelicious and jigitiness. To our children, they have reminded me daily what it means to be alive. And many of the colleagues that are here, they have been there for the children, they have seen them grow, so they are our children, all of us. To my prayer warriors all over Namibia, thank you for your strength. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, when we were in the Youth League, and therefore many here will recall, we traveled to a village called Elavi. Elavi is near Nkumbula in Oshkoto region. When we arrived there, we found former planned combatants, and their most pressing need was water. So I returned to base, to the headquarters, and I said to the leadership, I reported that we, and I quote what I said, we must drill a borehole for Elavi. So the leadership looked at me and said, but the Youth League, you don't have this budget. How are you going to drill this borehole? Few months later, the Youth League, by that time, West Lucia, Comrade Lucia Ipumbu was our Secretary for Finance. We did mobilization and we raised funds, and we were able to drill this borehole from a budget that we did not have. And we were able to offer this borehole to the government. And if you go today to Elavi, you will find a borehole that was drilled by the Youth League, including many that are here. Please give them a round of applause. Later, as Director of Water Supply in the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, we found that our budget for drilling boreholes was a mere 30 million. So we quietly, which we didn't say, quietly lobbied, including Mwenewe Mkunda, Tate Pumbushimi is then Minister of Finance. We lobbied Comrade Obeth Kanjode. We lobbied the then Prime Minister, Comrade Sarah. We lobbied the Secretary General. We lobbied our President, Comrade Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, and said if we had to respond to the outcry of water shortages, we cannot achieve that with 30 million. And quietly, and so it came, our budget was increased to 300 million. With it, we were able to drill not only from Elavi alone, we were able to drill from Barambat to Queenstown. And we were able to drill in Oshombinde, we were able to drill in Okangwati, we were able to drill in Machete, we were able to drill in Namatanga, we were able to drill along the rivers of Kavango where the crocodiles were catching and fighting with our people. And now if you go to those places, you will find that indeed there are boreholes and people are now not able to compete with the crocodiles, but the boreholes are there. Your Excellency and Deputy Speaker, This demonstrates our attitude towards addressing issues facing our people, bread and butter issues. We don't just talk, we act with unwavering commitment. Our work in these early weeks of office mirror our long-standing dedication. We have always stood with the downtrodden, with our artists like the Shinanadem that are here, the unemployed, the essential services, the doctors, the teachers, the nurses, now with executive and legislative power, because when we were youth, of course, we climbed drums and we said things, sometimes difficult things, and things that got us into problems here and there. I remember there was a time we went to the founding, he chased us from the State House, because some things we said now in retrospect, we could have said it better. But that is the idealism of youth. All of us were once youth. We say certain things. And I know Comrade Naruseb is nodding, he was also a youth, and the youth here. So it is the nature of it. Yeah. So service delivery must be our collective focus, requiring political economic unity for the benefit of all Namibians, regardless of political affiliation. For example, the long-awaited Nkurenkuru District Hospital must be realized, and existing hospitals must be adequately resourced. Pregnant women should not have to travel long distances for basic care. The education of our children deserves proper infrastructure, not learning under trees. We stand with the Minister of Health and Education in achieving these goals. This 106 billion budget, as expertly presented by the Minister of Finance, is crucial for addressing the needs of our people, and we must give it our full support. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'm a graduate who once faced unemployment despite my qualifications. This budget recognizes the urgent need for job creation across various sectors for our youth. Because the time is going, finally,
You are the PM, we can have a little bit of latitude, isn't it, Mama? It's the Prime Minister speaking. The Prime Minister that we have all said in uncertain circumstances, he has shaped many of us, including the Prof, including all others. PM, let's go.
So thank you very much. Then thank you very much.
And here we beat us for too long.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. As many would recall, we prioritize, when we were in the Youth League, we prioritize opportunities for others before seeking parliamentary office. This period, though financially challenging, provided invaluable lessons. I'm deeply grateful to His Excellency, the late founding President, and His Excellency, President Hifikepunye Pohamba, for their guidance. I also thank the late Dr. Ngarikutuke Chiryange and the late Minister John Alphonse Pandeni for their mentorship and the opportunity to work closely with traditional authorities. I was the PA, so many of the traditional authorities, from Mondonga Traditional Authority to Kakuru Kouye Traditional Authority, I have been able to learn from them. I express my gratitude to all the leaders under whom I have had the classroom of learning. And that classroom is what has positioned us to be where we are. The 8th Parliament, Honourable Deputy Speaker, is largely composed of young generation from both the ruling and opposition parties. Our shared generational identity presents an opportunity. We will focus on the real issues affecting our people. We will engage in productive, not unproductive rhetorics. By extension, we want to be here to speak about bread and butter, reflection of the aspirations of the Namibian people. We do not want to be here, Honourable Deputy Speaker, to be parliamentary movie stars. That is not what we would like to be here. We have come here, it's a chance to unite on basic needs and demonstrate to our elders that the sacrifices of our liberation struggle were not in vain. We must build upon the foundation laid by those who went before us. Our parliamentary debates should reflect the lives and concerns of Namibians. As we consider the budget votes, I urge us to be guided by the imperatives of youth empowerment, rural development, informal settlement, upliftment, and genuine economic empowerment. Her Excellency the President has placed her trust in many young people. Our work in Parliament should complement her vision. Let us continue to support her in service to our people. In the words of the late Hompa Kashan Shiambi, Shirongo Shinamene Mayeo, Namibia has come of age, and so many of us. We are now parents, grandparents serving in the public eye. The election 27 November demonstrated the will of the Namibian people. I have given and I recognize all the opposition members that are here, and that is a sign of what the Namibian people have given us. And we will recognize you and we respect you. But we will not be deterred as the majority party by attacks or shouts. Instead, it will strengthen our resolve to advance our national agenda. We will seek cooperation. We are prepared to defend our mandate. The Namibian people expect us to work together. Being in Parliament is not a personal achievement, but an opportunity to work collectively towards a better standard of living for every Namibian household. Access to water, electricity, housing, income, education, and sanitation. This is our shared goal. Let our tenure collectively be defined by this commitment, and we invite our colleagues in the opposition to join us. Together, let us develop green schemes, including small-scale agricultural schemes, realize desalination projects, expand borehole drilling, support young farmers with borehole drilling subsidy, which I know Honorable Kandorodu has been very vocal about, ensure adequate resources for clinics and hospitals. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as I conclude, here is the example. There was, and many from Oshkoto would know, every year there has been an outcry at Okazulu, Atatashe, Oshkondeirwa, Onerawo. These places have always been without water. We have drilled borehole there, and we knew that the water will be salty. But as we speak, that water has been desalinated, and people are drinking clean water. So this is the solutions to our challenges lie within us. We just need to bring ourselves to bear and to be able to provide those solutions. Therefore, we must be able to use the resources at our disposal. The vocational training centers, the National Youth Service, they must be used to respond to the needs of today. The solutions to our challenges, they are there, they are here. There is nothing that must stop us from talking to each other. And if there is a wedding at Honorable Mongo or Hengari, there is nothing that stops us here to go there. And when Honorable Shea and Weriko here, they are going to get married, you also come there. One Namibia, one nation must be our guiding principle. And national interest and national security must unite us. This is our unwavering path. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I fully support this budget because for us or anybody to say you don't support it, it means you do not care those that voted for you. So let us stand together and march together. When there is a clinic that needs to be supported, it is for you and me. When there is a school to be supported, it's for you and me. If there are challenges, as my colleague has said, we are welcome to come and engage with you, and let's face those challenges. And there is nobody that is perfect. Perfection belongs to God. But us, when we are doing our best to better the lives of our people, there is no mountain that we will not climb, and there is no valley that we will not mow. We from this side are committed to ensure, because we have the marching order from our president, and I know it's also your president, the first female president, and the women there, I can see them smiling. So please give her a round of applause, and thank you very much.
Thank you all very much, honorable members. I must maybe also hijack And I know it was said biblical verses were quoted here. No, it's not my maiden. I'm done with that. But this is an extraordinary man that has gone extraordinary measures in humiliation. We must stop talking good about people at a point where they don't understand. It's true, Honorable PM. They say in English, life is lived forward, but better understood backwards. You can only connect the dots when you look back. As the things are unfolding, you can't connect them. And you are a true resemblance of God's grace to say, whatever I have in store for you, it will be delivered, regardless of where you are. I sincerely applaud and thank you very much. I have hijacked it in terms of Rule 155. I have then now to adjourn, but I want to give the final message, which we all agreed about the committees in terms of the time slots. That will take place on Tuesday, the 22nd April this year, 2025, under the directive or the guidance of our acting secretary, Master Oscar Muyatwa. The first all meetings will take place in Dr. Theoben Kurirap Hall, better known as C1, with the election of chairpersons and the confinement to constitute officially the committees. The first committee that will start is at 9 o'clock, and that is the Constitutional and Legal Affairs and Petition Committee, 9 o'clock. The second one is International Relations, Defense and Security, 10 o'clock. The third one is Economy and Industry, Public Administration and Planning, 11. The next one is Natural Resources at 12. And the next one is Urban and Rural after the lunch break, 14:15. The next one is Education, Youth, Civic Relations at 3 o'clock. And the last one for that day is Poverty Eradication, Labor and Industrial Relations at 4 o'clock. Then scheduled for Wednesday the 23rd, starting at 9, is Gender, Equality, Health and Social Welfare, followed by Information and Communication Technology at 10, Public Accounts at 11, and Budget and Finance at 12. That is to complete the entire cycle. Just bear in mind, maybe if there are elections, and the counting might delay, so just to say, don't just come exactly at that time, but I think there is just the indication why, when to start. Okay, in terms of the Rule 155, we went a little bit over. The House is adjourned until 23rd of April 2025 at 14:30. I so move.